begins with one small step. It doesn't matter how hard you hit, whether you win or lose. What matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a band of brothers acting as one. Every week we come together to witness these gladiators of the gridiron pour their heart and soul onto the field. This is SHG's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Illinois Pork Producers.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to SHG Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. I'm Paul Wapple, along with Adam Anderson. We're here at Cyclone Stadium at Sacred Heart Griffin in Springfield, where the Cyclones will host the Rochester Rockets in a Central State 8 showdown. This might be, it probably is, the biggest high school football matchup of the night in the state of Illinois. Adam, this is going to be a fantastic matchup. Leonard Bowl again. It's going to be father versus son, Rochester against SHG. I don't know where to start.
Yeah, you could put, all the added stuff onto it. What it really, I think, boils down to is you're going to see two really, really good football teams tonight. I'm excited about this matchup. The atmosphere already is just fabulous. It's going to be a good night.
Both teams undefeated, 6-0. Both teams tied for first place in the Central State 8. SHG ranked first in 6A. Rochester ranked second in 4A. What are the keys to tonight's game?
For both teams, really, it's stay calm and play your game. I can talk about key players for 30 minutes on tonight's game because there are that many guys that are key in this matchup. You have Tremaine Lee, Colin Stallworth, Avante Cox, Tim Brinheisen, and the list goes on and on. The big key for both teams is to stay calm and do what you've practiced all week. Neither team has faced another like they're playing tonight, so they need to kind of settle down, get used to the atmosphere as early as possible. I know both staffs are two of the best in Illinois. They're going to have their kids ready to go. Don't get caught up in the night. Don't do too much. Just stay calm. Do what you know what to do. Is the big key tonight.
We're going to have plenty to talk about during tonight's broadcast. Right now, we'll turn it over to ABC News Channel 20's Brendan Cullerton. Brendan has our all-synthetic group Midwest field conditions. Brendan?
Adam, Paul, I just spoke with Channel 20 meteorologist Thomas Patrick, who says 0% chance of rain, so we're all good there. We were a little bit worried before, but a twist to today's field conditions. I'm here with Jeremy Strawn of All Synthetic Group, the man who built the field, and you tell me it was a long process.
Yeah, it was a long 121 days from the start of the first trees coming out over along the tree line here to the sod going in, and I think it was the first week of January when we finally got that put in. But we made the schedule, we got it done, and here's the results.
And as the guy who built it, how does a turf like this differ from grass, which most teams in the area actually have?
The drain systems are, what a lot of people, really think are the best part. The playability is always good, but the fact that it can rain, it can rain 4, 5, 6 inches, and the field drains up to 10, 12 inches an hour. And that's all just something that's done in the beginning that no one ever sees.
And luckily the drainage not a factor tonight again, but before I let you go, everyone wonders the black little specks that pop up from the field. What's the purpose of all that?
It's rubber. It's crumb rubber is what that is, and it's a shock attenuation for head and shock, the concussion things. That's which is a big thing right now. And that SHG did this in 2011, 2012, so they were looking way out in the future whenever they were putting their field together.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. And there is your all-synthetic field conditions report.
And we'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a minute. You're watching SHG Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Don't go away. We'll be back with more from Cyclone Stadium. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to SHG Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. I'm Paul Wapple, along with Adam Anderson. Cyclone Stadium tonight is the site of tonight's Central State 8 matchup between the Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones and the Rochester Rockets. Both teams undefeated. Been a lot of hype about this game, Adam. This game, we're almost set to go, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I cannot wait for it. This is my first Leonard Bowl. There's not an empty seat in the house. There's a lot of people standing around. It's going to be exciting.
And here is tonight's coin toss, sponsored by the Illinois Pork Producers and Sacred Heart Griffin and Rochester. representatives of both teams out there, of course, for the coin toss for tonight's game. And I want to thank the Illinois Pork Producers for sponsoring that for tonight's matchup. So we are almost set for action here. And Adam, we talked about it, and everybody's talked about it all week. The offenses exploding. Both teams are explosive. It's going to come down to a little bit of a defensive, maybe who can come up big on defense tonight.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying who can make the first stop, who can make the other team blank first. I think that will have a lot to do with it. Again, turnovers are going to be key in any kind of matchup, and special teams is going to come up big too in a game like this.
It's going to be a good one, and I said it, and other people said it. I think this is the biggest game, high school football game in the state of Illinois tonight. Class 4A, ranked number 2, Rochester is, of course. Sacred Heart Griffin, number 1 in 6A. Just should be a heck of a showdown.
Yeah, there are guys in the Chicagoland area talking about this game and coming down to see it because they know it's going to be a special night. And if you can get the attention of the Chicagoland area for Central Illinois football, it's a big game.
And there you see head coach Derek Leonard on the Rochester sidelines, and father versus son, the Leonard Bowl. It's been talked about all week, and we had on the Pepsi High School football preview show Brad Leonard, who's Derek's brother, and Ken's one of Ken's sons, and Liz Leonard, who's battling back from cancer and doing very well. Happy to hear that. And Liz said this is always she's always glad when this game gets over. There you see Ken Leonard and two of the best coaches. We've talked about it, but in the state of Illinois, state championships between both of them. Great coaches, offensive minds, and I don't know where you stop. There you see Ken's career record, 33 season, 323 wins.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Ken Leonard is really the godfather of Central Illinois football. He's the man that you want to be like when you're aspiring to get into coaching. He's great to talk to. He'll sit down and talk to anybody. Derek's is exactly the same way. Two great guys.
Brian Adams and Spencer Red back deep for the Cyclones, who will receive the opening kickoff. We are just about set here at Cyclone Stadium on a beautiful night for high school football. We have a heck of a crowd, and we know there are a lot of people at home watching, which is great as well, and a big night for high school football in Central Illinois.
Beautiful weather. I mean, walking up to Cyclone Stadium tonight, it felt like a college game, a college atmosphere with people tailgating and both communities interacting. It's going to be a great night.
And we are just about set. Paul Wapple and Adam Anderson calling the action tonight. Happy to bring it to you, and you can hear the crowd. And we are underway at Cyclone Stadium. Kick is out of bounds. So no return opportunity there for the Cyclones.
Yeah, and it looks like SHG's just going to take the ball at the 35.
Cyclones high-powered. And let's take a look at your SEFQ starting lineups. SEFQ, not a bank, better, and there's that offense for Sacred Heart Griffin and some big offensive linemen.
Yeah, and of course the one person that you've heard all year about, if you're watching this game, is number 2, Tremaine Lee. He is a special running back, but this Rochester defense has stepped up, and they've played a lot tougher this year. That's one thing they wanted to work on.
And they've got some players that play on both sides of the ball. Rochester does, and we'll see how that turns out tonight, see if fatigue is a factor. There's the handoff. Left side out to about the 40-yard line is Tremaine Lee, the 5'9", 190-pound junior. And Adam, we talked about him off and on throughout the season. He is tremendous speed and loves to go behind that big offensive line.
Yeah, he's got it all. A lot of people expect him to be one of the best backs that have come through Griffin. Now, I grew up watching Kenny Burns, and so he's got a lot to live up to, but he's doing it so far.
On second down, it's Lee again, out to about the 43-yard line.
Actually got to do acceleration with Kenny Burns in high school. We were the same age. One of the best athletes I've ever seen.
Hurry-up offense, of course, for the Cyclones. Tim Brenneisen at quarterback. There's the handoff again, and it looks like that is good for a first down. And we'd like to thank Casey's General Store, one of our first down sponsors all season long. So nothing fancy so far, just some handoffs, and it's working.
Yeah, and they're going a little bit faster than I expected them to. I thought they might burn a little time, but
lead to midfield. crosses midfield down to the 46-yard line of Rochester.
You know, Brad Leonard even mentioned it in our pregame show that he expected his dad maybe to slow it down a little bit, but they're getting right on the ball. They're trying to go a lot faster than they normally do.
They are indeed. Second down and a couple. The handoff to Lee, who stutter steps and gets down to about the 42-yard line.
Great tackle by number 5, Avante Cox. He's one to watch on defense at the linebacker position. He can make a lot of big plays. Again, the Rockets are missing his twin brother, Deontay, who broke his arm 2 weeks ago.
And that's good for another Casey's General Store first down, 1st and 10 from the 42. Fumbled on the play. It's loose, still loose. I think SHG may have recovered, but let's see. No. Some of the Rochester players saying they have it. No official signal yet.
Looks like we're going to go to second down. That was
okay. Brian Adams, number 1, was in on the play. I'm not for SHG. I'm not sure you see the replay.
Check out the replay here.
And just couldn't get the handoff off. Brenheisen to Adams.
Looked like Brenheisen didn't even really catch a snap clean. Again, when you rush, mistakes happen. You got to stay calm.
We'll call it 2nd and 12. Brenheisen with the handoff to Adams. He's behind the line and of scrimmage and is brought down at the 45, so a loss on the play.
Yeah, great job by the Rochester defense. You really got to be sure about tackling. Riley Lewis, the sophomore out there playing corner. Tackling tonight is going to be key for both sides of the ball. You cannot give guys another chance to break a play.
3rd down and long for the Cyclones. Undefeated, top-ranked in 6A. Brenheisen back to throw. Does throw. Left side, goes deep. And it is almost intercepted by the Rockets down near the 20-yard line, inside the 20 on 3rd down.
Took a chance there out deep to Cade Ennington there with the pass breakup. Thought he had some receivers open underneath, but tried to make a big play there to Michael Healy, who's had a few big weeks catching the football. So this is what Rochester needed, especially on an opening drive.
4th and 14. Brenheisen, high snap, has it. Going to punt it. Not a very long punt. Bounces at the 30 and out at about the 25, 26-yard line is where the officials will mark it. So that's where the Rochester offense will take over.
Let's see what they can do here. If they can, take an early lead here and get out in front. But I know this Cyclone defense is going to be excited to make a stop and show really what they're worth too.
So 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. 9:15 to go. Opening quarter action from Cyclone Stadium. Nick Baker in a quarterback for the Rockets. Going to keep it. Left side. Has some positive yards out to about the 35, 36-yard line. So a pickup of 9 on the play.
Yeah, good run by Baker. He's not really known for running the football. I don't think he's had to do it a whole lot this year, but that's a good first down run.
And Rochester has had success with both of the quarterbacks they've used this year.
Yeah,
so far.
And I would expect to see Grant play a little bit later on in this game too.
2nd and 3. Back to throw, incomplete. Baker's attempt. It was a pass. It was incomplete.
It was a forward pass, throwing that out to Avante Cox, who came by in motion. Again, that play is made on the outside. Your receivers have to have strong blocks. If they don't, that's exactly what happens. Cox gets blown up before the ball even gets there.
And there you see the Rochester offense and the SEFQ lineup for the Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones. 3rd and 3. Baker back to throw, going deep, right sidelines. Can't connect with his receiver there. Colin Stallworth, the intended receiver, the 190-pound senior, and he is a good one.
Yeah, he is one of the best you're going to see probably in the state of Illinois. He's a great athlete, a great basketball player, too, for the Rockets. I think he kind of got a little too excited there and overthrew him. So big stop for the Cyclones here. You got Rochester in 4th and short, and I would expect to see a punt here.
And the quarterback, Nick Baker, is back in punt formation. He does punt. Good kick. Nobody back for the Cyclones to receive. Takes a Rockets bounce, and will it go into the end zone? And, he slid into the end zone. The official spotted at the 1-yard line. So my goodness.
In high school football, you can slide and still catch that ball, and it's down where you touched it first. I know in the NFL you can't break the plane of the goal line, but in high school football that does not matter. So that ball looks like it's going to be spotted on about the 1.5, 2-yard line.
So the Rockets have the Cyclones just about as deep as you can get a team.
Yeah.
And that's where the SHG offense will start their second drive of the game.
Shot of the Rocket staff right there. Defense coordinator Steve Beaker leads this Rocket defense, and both these teams have great staffs, not just great head coaches. Some of the best staffs in the there's probably 3 or 4 head coaches on both sidelines, so I know that comes in handy in big games like this.
Brent Eisen in the end zone, shotgun formation for SHG. He gives to Lee, who's out, gets some yards out to about the 9-yard line, so a good pickup there for the junior.
Yeah, he's the one to focus on. He's your guy, but again, SHG's going to come at you with a 3-headed attack of running backs. They're going to have number 1, Brian Adams, who went in motion there. You're already going to see number 32, Tristan Blair, at some point as well.
Lee again, and Rockets read that one well.
And defensively, this front line is playing. They don't get a whole lot of credit. Offense takes a lot of the credit at Rochester, but they're doing a great job so far here tonight.
Tremaine Lee in the backfield with Tim Brent Eisen for the Cyclones. Handoff again to Lee, who has to loose, and he is loose. He's to the 30, to the 40, to midfield. It's a foot race. He's to the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown. Tremaine Lee, 91 yards rushing for the touchdown, and that is a Young Security touchdown, our touchdown sponsor this season. For every touchdown, Young Security will donate $50 to a local charity. This week's charity is Contact Ministries, and just like that, they kept giving the ball to Lee, and boom, takes off. There's that speed and opening.
Yeah, that's
91 yards.
That's just a snapshot of what kind of running back Tremaine Lee is. He can change a game just like that. They had that big stop on second down. He only got about a yard, maybe line of scrimmage. Then he takes the third down into 91 yards to the house. Unbelievable run by Tremaine Lee.
And the Cyclones will attempt the point after attempt. Colin Boyd will try to make it 7-0 SHG here in the first. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So 7-0, the Cyclones strike first. 7:24 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Back with more in just a minute. Welcome back to SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Paul Wappel along with Adam Anderson. Cyclone Stadium. SHG strikes first on the 91-yard touchdown run by Tremaine Lee. Extra point attempt is good. 7-0 Cyclones over the Rockets. 7:24 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, that came
just
in a
like
hurry.
That. It did. We talked about these offenses, and we saw it right there. They kept pounding the ball, giving it to Lee, and he just took off. So Rochester will receive. It's a short kick at about the 28-yard line, and nothing doing on the return. So Cyclones are fired up, and why not?
The football came out. 17, Ben Chapman was on caught the ball, but they're saying
the Rochester, okay.
Yeah, saying he was down,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this is
take a breath, folks.
Yeah, this is exciting.
We got a little break right now.
Hope you are enjoying it.
Again, neither one of these teams huddles. They like to go quickly. That's going to play into probably tonight, too, is nobody's played a full game.
Nick Baker, shotgun formation for the Rockets. Undefeated, ranked second in 4A. Coached by Derek Leonard. Bobbled by Baker, going to throw. Does throw, and nobody there. Probably misconnection, maybe miscommunication there.
Yeah,
and a tough play after you bobble the
looked like
the snap.
A timing issue, and he kind of just sailed that one out there as he had pressure in his face, too.
We'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 29. for the Rockets. And Alec Ostermeyer. And now we're going down to Brendan Cullerton on the sidelines. Brendan?
Hey guys, I'm here with Jeff Ambrose, SFQ branch manager in Springfield. How about that? There are no breaks here. What do you think about that run?
Amazing. I mean, great night for football, two great schools, and just really excited to be here with you to watch the game tonight. So,
SFQ obviously out here tonight, but you say you guys like to get involved in a lot of other community events as well.
yeah, really important to come out, support the student athletes. You've seen our support throughout the season with the games, Friday Night Lights. We have coming up supporting the March of Dimes Signature Chefs event, involved with Zooly Gooly out at the zoo and here in Springfield. Joy of Sharing is coming up during the holiday season. So really important to just be a part of the Springfield community, and glad to be here again tonight to support these athletes. So,
all right, thanks, Jeff. Adam, Paul, we'll throw it back up to you guys.
Thank you very much. Avante Cox with the reception for the Rockets. And we appreciate SFQ sponsorship this season on Friday Night Rivals. Thank you very much.
So it's going to put them in a 3rd and long here, 3rd and 7. Let's see what the Rockets can dial up.
Baker fakes the throw,
He's got
looking
him
to
open
throw,
deep.
going deep. He's got Cox. Oh, and he can't quite hang on to it. Just overthrew him a little bit.
You know, this is
Wow.
the first big game for Nick Baker. Didn't play it a little bit last year, but I think he's just getting a little too excited. He needs to calm down a little bit, take a little bit off that ball, because there was nobody between Avante Cox and the end zone right there. He could have jogged in, and I know Baker's upset at himself for missing that one.
4th and 7 from the 32. Baker back in punt formation for Rochester. He gets the punt away, a high punt, and out of bounds at the 39, close to the 40-yard line. So good field position for the Cyclones as they take over on offense.
Yep, and they definitely got to play tough here on defense. Need to get a stop, keep them out of the end zone, because you don't want to be playing catch-up against the Sacred Heart Griffin football team.
If you're ready, girls, heads up.
In case you just joined us, 7-0, 6:29 to go, first quarter. SHG over Rochester. Rockets scored on a long run touchdown run by Tremaine Lee. Brent Eisen with the handoff to Lee. Right side, nothing doing this time.
Great job by this Rocket defense, not letting him get going, because you let him get ahead of steam, we saw what happens. Chase Kunzman on the stop there shooting in. Let's see what happens.
Chase Kunzman, the senior, with the tackle on the play. 2nd and 9. Brent Eisen going to hand it off to Adams. Adams on his feet. Stopped at about the 47-yard line. Pickup of about 6 on the play.
Yeah, Adams, he's the other big running back here tonight. You're going to see Tristan Blair at some point, I would expect. They're kind of, again, a 3-headed monster. Adams is more the versatile speedster. So
3rd and 2. Tremaine Lee.
I don't know if he got it.
I don't think he did, Adam. Yeah. See where they mark it.
No,
but
he looks like they're going to mark it about the line of scrimmage.
So, injured player down on the field for SHG.
Tonight's game is being broadcast live on CW.
So we'll see what that's all about.
Yeah, a little stuck. Hopefully it's not warm enough to where everybody's cramping.
All right, CW23 TV. Friday Night Rivals is available streaming live online. Log on to CW23TV.com and click on the Friday Night Rivals link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. Friday Night Rivals. Adam, this game is living up to its expectations, all the pregame hype and everything so far. So
take a look at the replay here to see if we can figure out where the injury might have came in. Looks like just got rolled up there on the backside.
5:23 to go.
Number 68, John Burgett, was the lineman that's down, but he went off on his own power, so hopefully he's doing okay.
4th and 2 for SHG. Handoff.
He's going to be
short. I don't think he got it.
I think he had to get to the 50 or over it.
Tristan Blair with the carry, and I don't think he got it, and the Rockets will take over near midfield, Adam.
That's a big stop for Rochester. Their sideline's excited.
So let's see what the Rockets can do here. And 5:09 to go, first quarter action. Nick Baker in at quarterback. There's the pitch to Avante Cox, right side to the 45, to the 40, and inside the 40-yard line with a nice run there.
Yeah, so far that's probably been the most positive play that Rochester's had here on offense. And you want to get it to Cox. Cox and Stallworth are your two big offensive athletes. Again, with Deontay Cox being out, I would expect Avante to get the ball a little bit more. You also need to look out for number 2, Matt Wick, the transfer from Mount Zion. He's going to step up big here tonight.
And that pickup was enough for a Casey's General Store first down, one of our first season sponsors on Friday Night Rivals. Baker pump fakes, going deep near the end zone, and too much for Avante Cox this time.
Again, he's just a little long on all those throws. He's had some guys open. He's just put a little too much on it. Got to calm down a little bit.
4:56 to go. 7-0 SHG. There you see the replay and going for it all there on that one. Baker to Cox. 2nd and 10 from the 39. There's the handoff. Gain of about 3 for Alec Ostermeyer, who's having a good year as well for the Rockets.
The Rochester receivers always get a lot of the press and the quarterback, but if you look at their state title runs and some of their other seasons, the running back has always been one of the big focal points. You got to have a running game.
Flag on the play before the play.
Gonna have a false start here on the Rocket offensive line.
See what
that's all about. Start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
All right, there you hear the call from the official. So still 3rd down and 13. Make it 14. Baker at midfield, has time, now running, going to keep it. Turn, still on his feet. And brought down at about the 37-yard line. Pickup of about 6 will not be enough for the first down. Good run there, all things considered. He was in trouble.
Yeah, it got a positive play out of it. Good job by Baker to feel pressure and he's a tough kid. He's going to get what he can. And looks like we're going to see a little interesting formation here by the Rockets.
Here we go. Derek Leonard in the offense.
Got to do what you got to do.
Coach of Rochester with let's see what he dials up here for Nick Baker. 4th and 8 from the 37. Baker looks to the sidelines. And the Rockets want to talk about it. They want to take a timeout, and I think we will probably do the same. Take a timeout. You're watching SEFCU Friday Night Rivals presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Back with more from Cyclone Stadium in just a minute. Stay with us. Welcome back to SEFCU Friday Night Rivals presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Paul Wapple and Adam Anderson calling the action tonight. And you see the Chick-fil-A out there, one of our sponsors this season. And there's a flag on the play, another one.
It looks like you're going to get another false start here on the Rocket offensive line. Oh, no, they're going to call it
on SHG. Okay.
Okay.
So you go from 4th and long to 4th and manageable.
Coachman, defense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So 4th and 3 now for the Rockets.
Once again, let's hear you.
So again, still 4th down. This is a huge play.
The 32-yard line of SHG. Baker still not sure what he wants to call, and now he's ready. Low snap, he keeps it himself, has the first down for the Rockets, and that is a Casey's General Store first down for Rochester.
Great job, great play call by Coach Leonard. He's changing a lot of the plays at the line. He's an animated guy, very different from his dad in that perspective, but he knows they need to get in the end zone on this drive to keep this game kind of well within their reach.
So they trail, the Rockets do, 7-0, 3:23 to go, opening quarter action. And look at this, Avante Cox will get the snap on a trick play, and he is down to about the 20-yard line. So a nice pickup of 7 there for Avante Cox, who can do it all.
Hey, you can't pull out any stops here tonight. You can't hide anything in your bag. You got to do what you can to get it to a win, and I'm sure there's probably some tricks that his dad didn't know about coming into tonight. But you're going to see two pretty similar offenses.
2nd and 4. Baker, gets away from a tackle. Now he's brought down by a couple of Cyclones at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, they had heavy penetration on that play and really never let Baker get going.
Number 33, Roger Dondonville, one of the players in on that one, on the tackle. So 3rd down and 9 for the Rockets.
3rd down and 6.
The pitch and gain of a couple on the play.
Yeah, maybe got a yard there. Not a ton of room there for Matt White.
So it brings up 4th down and 5 from the 23. Empty backfield. Plenty of time. Going to keep it and run himself, and he does. Will not get the first down. The Cyclones defense swarms the Rochester quarterback.
I thought Baker had an opportunity to get rid of the football. He had Avante Cox coming across from the left to the right. I thought he could have got it out to him. I think he felt a little bit of pressure and got rid of it. Again, he has not played a defense like this Cyclone defense is.
All right, so SHG will take over. Tim Brenneisen pitches it left side to Tremaine Lee. Looking for some room and stacked up inside the 25-yard line.
Other than the big 91-yard run that Lee got loose, the Rocket defense has done a great job at containing him. They're really not giving him any real cutback lanes. Their first tackler is bringing him down, which is huge because he's ripped off some big runs in prior games with guys missing tackles.
2nd and 9. Fake. The handoff. Brenneisen's got a man open. Down the left sidelines. Across midfield to the 40 and out of bounds at about the 38-yard line for the Cyclones. So a big pickup and a first down there for SHG. Spencer Red with the catch there and the big pickup, the 5'11", 180-pound junior. And that is good for a Casey General Store first down.
Red and Michael Healy kind of switched positions, and Red came wide open down the sidelines. Looked a little miscommunication by the Rocket defense, and that's a huge play.
1st and 10, Lee left side. Flag on the play. So inside of a minute in the first quarter. See what the flag, there's the...
It's going to be hold here on the Cyclones.
So that'll push SHG back near midfield.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
So it'll still be first down and 22 for SHG on this beautiful night. Jacket weather, high school football weather.
Yeah, it is football weather finally. We got rid of the rain. We got rid of the unnaturally warm weather for late September and now in October.
Hand off to Lee, who's got a hole, got some room. Left sideline, still on his feet. Finally brought down at about the 26-yard line. So that is a big pickup and a Casey's General Store first down.
He changes the field immediately. If you take a look at the replay, his burst through the line right here, that's not something you see for every running back in the state. He's got a gear that nobody else has.
1st and 10 for the Cyclones from the 27. Brenneisen was going to throw, going to keep it, and goes down at about the 23-yard line with 22 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Clock continues to run here at Cyclone Stadium.
Looks like Brenneisen was kind of a triple option look and decided to keep it.
And the Cyclones may get this play off. They do not have to. They have enough time on the clock, the play clock. Let's see what they do, and that will do it here after 1 quarter of play. From Cyclone Stadium, it's Sacred Heart Griffin 7, the Rochester Rockets nothing. Back with more from Cyclone Stadium. You're watching SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers here on CW23. Back with second quarter action in just a minute. Welcome back to SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by Illinois Pork Producers. Paul Wappel and Adam Anderson at Cyclone Stadium. You see, it's time for our Chick-fil-A row of the game. All right, and you recognize that person in the black and in the white with the black spots, Adam? Chick-fil-A is here.
Chick-fil-A is here, been here early, handing out, sandwiches, get people excited to go right down off of Wabash and get some chicken.
Absolutely. Chick-fil-A row of the game, and everybody in that row, I believe, gets free cookies. So that's fantastic.
I could use a cookie up here, Paul. I don't know about you.
Yep. We've got some great football. 10:36 to go. Cyclones lead 10-0. It's the Leonard Bowl. Again, both teams undefeated in the Central State 8. The Cyclones are ready to kick. The Rockets have 3 men back, deep, on the 10-yard line. And let's see. There's the kick, and it's a good one. To about the 14-yard line.
It's going to be Avante Cox, and he is dangerous.
This way. And thrown down just shy of the 30-yard line is Avante Cox.
Yeah, he took one back last week against MacArthur. He took the opening kickoff back, actually, for a touchdown. So you always got to be careful when you're kicking it deep to him.
I believe that's special teams play. There you go, made by 26.
All right. 1st and 10 from the 30 for the Rockets. There's the handoff and the reverse and the flea flicker back to Baker. Got a man open down the sidelines, wide open. Oh, it falls, but a big completion there down to the 38-yard line of SHG for the Rockets is Matt White.
Matt White, the transfer from Mount Zion, just going downfield. That time Baker put the ball right on the money. White kind of slipped as he caught it, or he would have had a reservation for 6 right there.
We'd like to thank Brandt Professional Agriculture. That's for sponsoring our first downs this quarter. So Brandt first down. All right, on first down, Baker to the air again. This time it's to Cox, complete. Shuffles his feet to the 30, out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. So the Rockets now on the move.
Wyke and Stallworth did a good job blocking for Cox there. Got to be careful. They were both pretty close to maybe getting away with a holding penalty there. But good job by the Rockets to really now get back into a little bit more.
10:06 to go, second quarter action. Cox in motion. Pitch goes the other way. Got some room. Down to about the 24-yard line is Matt White.
Now that's something don't see a whole lot in this game tonight. That was a quarterback taking the snap from center and then I formation. So
let's go down to Brendan Cullerton on the sidelines. Brendan?
Guys, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Rochester going on a lot of hard counts here. We've seen a lot of 2, 3 snap counts. I don't know if Derek Leonard has seen something out of the maybe over-aggression on that SHG front, or if they're just trying to play up the hype surrounding this game, but we've seen it work both ways, with sometimes Rochester doing a false start, sometimes it's working SHG, giving them those 5 yards, so discipline could become a factor here.
Thank you very much, Brendan, and we'll continue to check in with you throughout the game tonight. And a little bit of a breeze here at Cyclone Stadium tonight, but again, a great night for high school football.
So we got a big 4th and inches right here.
4th and inches from the 25. Rochester shuffles things up. Now Baker under center. I thought somebody jumped, I guess not. Yeah, let's see that.
And Rochester's going to call
Derek
it.
Calls a timeout.
Yeah.
Derek Leonard, head coach of Rochester, wants a timeout to talk about it.
He was not happy about that. I thought he had a defensive lineman jumped off sides and no call. So
8:58 to go, and look at the crowd on hand.
There's not an empty seat in this beautiful stadium here. Got the beautiful Jumbotron too, but just not an empty seat here. A lot of people standing 2-3 deep on the sidelines as well. It's awesome.
See the Rockets cheerleaders rooting their team on, and it's 10-0. Of course, there's obviously a ton of time left, Adam, but with these two offenses, I would think, unless it's 30-40-0, you don't feel like you're out of the game, because they can strike with one play, one pass. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
These guys the Leonards know what they're doing, and their offenses are fantastic.
Yeah, and that's what they're known for, striking quickly. And it's really been a defensive battle, and we did talk about that, how it's going to come down to defense, really who can get stops, who blinks first. No turnovers yet, which is good, because that really can change the flow of a game. But we've had a lot of big 4th downs like this, and Rochester really needs this one to, again, keep pace in this ball game, because you do not want to fall behind to this Griffin team.
So 4th and 1, and Baker's going to keep it stacked up, get some yardage. I don't know that he got enough yardage.
His second effort might have gave him the first down there. He was initially hit, and he was short.
Stopped. Let's see where they spot it. I hear the whistles, and I would think they're going to. We have a player down, a Rocket player down, and all right. And all right. Good action here. 8:54 to go. And we'll find out who the injured player is for the Rockets, Adam.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The SHG sideline did get a little excited there, so I don't know if they spotted the ball short.
And 8:54 to go. And we'll see. There's Pete Stoll, the trainer for the Rockets out there. And, all right. And you see the replay right there. And tonight at 10:15 on ABC, I want to let you know you can get all of your local high school football highlights on News Channel 20's Friday Night Rivals recap. Donnie Tillman and David Coy will have all of the highlights for you, and they do a great job. You can watch them at 10:15 on our sister station, ABC News Channel 20. So, all right. So, 1st and 10 for SHG. Tim Brenneisen running the offense for the Cyclones. Tremaine Lee, right side. Gain of a couple on the play. 8:43 to go, second quarter.
Take a look here at Tremaine Lee. Just got tripped up. Going back to that 4th down, it looked like he was just a tad short on the spot. They just spotted him at the line of scrimmage, so that's a tough draw for the Rockets now back on defense.
2nd down and 8. Lee with the carry. Cuts back. Has some positive yardage brought down by none other than Avante Cox. The Rockets.
Injured player was actually number 42, Sam Baker, Nick's brother. So Dr. Diane Hillard-Simble's taking a look at him now. Hopefully he's okay here on the sideline.
3rd and 4 for SHG. Cyclones trying to pick up the first down. Brent Eisen back to throw, complete across the middle, has the first down and more. And that is a Brant Professional Agriculture first down for SHG.
Just Spencer Red right there, sitting down in an opening and turning a slow gain into a big play. And this SHG offense is back moving again.
1st and 10 from the 44. Low snap, bobbled by Brent Eisen. Got it, going to throw over the middle, incomplete to Tremaine Lee, who tried desperately to get it. I was surprised that Brent Eisen was able to get the throw off, Adam.
Yeah,
good job.
Low snap, had good protection. Rochester sideline is fired up. I do think 68 John Bergen. Take a look at the top of your screen there on that replay. I think he got away with a little bit of a hold. But no harm, no foul, no damage done with the pass thrown.
2nd down and 10. Brent Eisen with the fake, throws, incomplete.
And now the SHG sideline's a little fired up. Thought there was contact before the ball got there. It was a pretty bang-bang play. Not a ton of flags other than kind of some false starts or offsides. It just had the one holding penalty.
Jack Bowl, the intended receiver for the Cyclones on that play, who now face 3rd and 10 from the 44. And the Rockets fans trying to spear their defense on. Lee in motion. Brent Eisen has time, throws, complete at the 39. Good for a Brant Professional Agriculture first down as Nolan Reevy, the 6'3", 185-pound senior, makes the first down catch for the Cyclones, and they are across midfield.
You know that motion with Tremaine Lee out to the sideline, you have to account for him. Anytime you move him around, you got to know where he's at, and that left Reevy wide open.
Ball on the Rockets 41. Brent Eisen gives to Lee. Lee shakes and bakes. Still on his feet. Nothing doing. Got back to probably the line of scrimmage, if that, on the carry. 10-0 Cyclones over the Rockets. 2nd quarter action from Cyclone Stadium. Second down and 11. See Ken Leonard and talking to a member of his coaching staff, and he's got a good coaching staff indeed. Brent Eisen back to throw at midfield. Gonna throw across the middle. It is complete at the 30, just shy of the 30-yard line. And the nice pickup for Michael Healy.
Michael Healy just coming across the middle. Brent Eisen did a good job of buying himself some time. Didn't really have anybody open.
So it's good for a Brant Professional Agriculture first down. And the carry there to about the 28-yard line. So 6 minutes to go in the first half. See Tremaine Lee, talented running back for SHG.
And really, outside of the big run, Paul, he really has been bottled up pretty well by this Rocket defense.
I agree. 2nd and 10, ball on the 30. Brent Eisen, low snap, hands off to Lee, left side, cuts back right side. Jumps to the 30, 25, 20. Goes down to about the 16-yard line. A tremendous run there by Tremaine Lee. Second effort.
Yeah, just turned a broken play into a first down. Not many people can do something like that.
And that's good for another Brant Professional Agriculture first down. 1st and 10 from the 18. Second quarter action from Cyclone Stadium. The handoff up the middle to Lee and follows a couple of his blockers. Gets some positive yardage. So, see what the Cyclones come up with here, Adam. We talked about their powerful offensive line. Cyclones.
Yeah, and this is where they're going to come up big, is here in the red zone, just driving the Rocket, the defensive line backwards.
Hand off to Lee, left side, got some room, goes wide to the 5 and into the end zone from 14 yards. Touchdown, Tremaine Lee. And that is good for a young security touchdown and $50 donated to Contact Ministries.
Great job by Tremaine Lee to really read his blocks, get to the outside, made a good cut back and broke a tackle, and that's why he is a special, special player.
So the Cyclones will attempt the extra point, try to make it 17-0. Boyd with the kick. It is up, and it is good. So 17-0. SHG leads Rochester with 4:06 to go in the second quarter. Back with more. You're watching SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Stay tuned for more second quarter action. Don't go away. Welcome back to SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers, Paul Wapple and Adam Anderson. And we check out our SEFCU Smile Cam. You see some Rockets fans enjoying the action here. 4:36 to go in the second quarter from Cyclone Stadium, and a good crowd on hand tonight as you see our SEFCU Smile Cam. All right. So far, it's the Cyclones who've had the most to cheer about, 17-0, but anything can happen. A long, long way to go. We'll see if the Rockets can come back after they get the ball on the kickoff here. Adam?
Yeah, it is 17-0. I don't think a lot of people in Rochester thought they'd be down like this, but I still think there's a lot of game left, and this Rochester Rocket team can get back in a hurry.
Boyd with the kickoff. Cox at about the 5 to the 10. 20, met by some SHG defenders and brought down at the 25-yard line. So that's where Nick Baker and company will take over as the Rockets try to get some offense, some points on the board. You take a look at the scoring drive recap there. Adam, nothing fancy, but a nice run by Tremaine Lee.
Yeah, they did what they had to do, hit a few big passes on key downs that really kept that drive alive.
Baker back to throw, overthrows, and is it picked off? The Cyclones say they picked it off. I don't think they did. I think it hit the ground.
I think he would need an Academy Award to convince a lot of people that he caught that one. But Baker still needs to settle down. He's airmailing a lot of these. He's getting excited.
Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 25. Nick Baker looks to the sidelines. Has his play. And there is a timeout on the field. And we're going to go down to the field to Brendan Cullerton. Brendan?
Guys, you saw that injury. That was number 42, Sam Baker, Nick's brother. I saw him on the sidelines. They were bandaging up his left knee, putting some ice on it, wrapping that around the knee. They got out some crutches. I have not seen him walk. He hopped over from the trainer's table to the bench. I did talk to one of the trainers who said he doesn't know if he will be able to return to the game, but right now it does not look good.
All right, thank you, Brendan, very much. We'll see if he does return to the game or not. 4:24 to go as the Rockets talk about things on the sideline. 2nd and 10, and we'll see what they come up with tonight. So Friday Night Rivals is available streaming live online. Log on to CW23TV.com and click on the Friday Night Rivals link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. CW23TV.com. 2nd and 10 for Nick Baker. Cox in motion. Stallworth goes to the right side. Back to throw is Baker. Throws deep across the middle, and it is caught and pulled away from the Cyclone defender. A nice pickup there for Matt White.
Matt White, great throw by Nick Baker right there. He thread the needle of the defense, fired a strike. That's when he can get excited and fire that ball downfield. Great throw by Baker.
And that is good for another Brant Professional Agriculture. First down for the Rockets. First down from the 43. Fakes the throw. Baker in trouble. Hit hard and brought down at the 50-yard line. So the Cyclones D comes right back at him with a big play.
Yeah, that's a slow developing play right there at the rollout. Your receivers are running a little bit longer routes, so you got to have a little bit more time. And great job by the Cyclone defense to get in the backfield.
3rd and 17 from midfield for the Rockets, who trail by 17. Sidelines, overthrows. Colin Stallworth.
Had a tight window there, just put it a little too high for Stallworth, and that's kind of been the story of the night. Baker's missed high on a lot of throws. Again, I think he's excited. This is a big game. He wants to make big plays. Just needs to settle down a little bit.
So it is 17 to go for yards for a first down, still at midfield, the Rockets. After the incompletion, Baker looking for a play, still on the sidelines. 10 seconds on the clock. Empty backfield. Baker steps up, throws, complete, near the 43-yard line. And a catch by Matt White.
Matt White coming up big here. Baker had to get that one off quick. Roger Donneville, number 33, came flying in on a blitz and put a lot of pressure on him. And he took a big hit late, too, but we'll see if they actually punt this or if they're going to go for it.
4th and 11 for the Rockets. 3:17 to go in the second quarter. They are in SHG territory. Empty backfield for Baker. Going to throw. In trouble. In a lot of trouble and brought down by a couple or 3 Cyclones on the play, and one of them, number 33, in there again, Adam, for the Cyclones.
Yeah, Roger Donneville making plays.
And Matt Brenneisen also in there on the play.
They ran a little bit of a game up front where their linemen kind of switched gaps and moved around and came behind each other. I think that confused the offensive line up front for Rochester and left a wide open gap, and that's where the sack happened.
So the Cyclones take over on downs. 1st and 10 from the 45. Hand off to Tremaine Lee, who goes right to the 45. Brought down maybe a pickup of 1 or 2 on the play.
Yeah, 2 at most there. He kind of strung that one out to look for an opening. Nothing doing there for Tremaine Lee and this Cyclones offense.
Tremaine Lee, and you see the numbers, 24 carries, 180 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and
Folks,
2nd and 7. Lee up the middle, flag on the play. Lee is brought down at about the 34-yard line.
I think it is going to be a hold there on the Cyclone offensive line. We just saw a shot of Tremaine Lee's stats for the first half. That's something most kids would be happy about to have for a game, and he has it here in the first half.
And he has had a lot of carries. He gets the ball, of course, a fair amount of time for SHG, but hasn't played a lot in the second half of the season because of their scores. They've blown out opponents.
I'd be shocked to see if he's played.
10-yard penalty, spot a foul. Going to repeat 2nd down.
Again, I was saying I'd be shocked to see if he's actually played in the second half of a game here this year. But like we talked earlier, they do have 3 key running backs with Brian Adams and Tristan Blair, too. So if he did ever need a break, I'm sure they could still have a very, very good backup in there.
2nd and 15 from midfield for Tim Brenneisen and the Cyclones. Brenneisen back to throw. Looks left. Got his man. Complete. Down at the 42-yard line. Jack Bowl with the reception, the senior for the Cyclones.
just found a little opening. Now you're in 3rd and manageable instead of 3rd and long. So
3rd and 5 from the 40. Lee went in motion. Now he comes back. Bernheisen has it. Back to throw. Ball was tipped. I believe it was tipped.
Yeah, I think it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Number 85, Mike McNicholas, just got his hand up there, and that's what you need to do if you can't get a sack. Get your hands up, make it tough. Now it's a big 4th down.
4th and 5 for SHG. 1:26 to go, 2nd quarter action, and SHG wants to talk about it, so they will take a timeout. As you see, Ken Leonard talks to some of his staff. You see the stats again. It's 323 wins in his career, 84% winning percentage.
That's unbelievable. Over 33 years to win almost 85% of your games. That's a crazy number.
And Adam, we've seen a fair amount of offensive, scoring-wise so far, but nothing from the Rockets so far. The Cyclones been able to shut them down. The Rockets.
Yeah, they've been in deep in Cyclone territory twice and came up with nothing. That's not what they want here. And if I'm SHG, I'm thinking, do I play field position with a minute and a half left to go, and knowing that Rochester doesn't have any timeouts left, or do I try to go for it and maybe get another 3 to 7 points here before halftime?
All right, and we want to thank Shields for being our Red Zone sponsor this year. From Friday Night Lights to crisp weekend afternoons, here's the football, and to the players who make it great. Good luck this season from Shields. Thank you, Shields. All right. So 4th and 5 from the 40, 1:26 to go. On a beautiful night for high school football, a little crisp, but just football weather.
Yeah, this is football weather. This is exciting. It's the Leonard Bowl.
How can you not get excited about that? And check out this. All right, Brent Eisen.
They are going to punt. This is a punt formation.
Punt formation for Tim Brent Eisen, who's also the quarterback, of course. He does punt. Goes for the sidelines. He angles it and does go into the end zone. So the Rockets will be start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
So 80 yards, minute 19.
Plenty of time for the Rockets offense. They want to get something on the board.
Yeah.
To get some positive, momentum, of course, going into halftime. First and 10 from the 20. Nick Baker has been in a quarterback the entire first half for the Rockets.
Yeah, we have not seen Josh Grant. I thought we might see him a little bit, but Baker is the better thrower of the two.
And he throws deep, does Baker, and tip and caught at the 44-yard line of SHG. And a nice play there. Good concentration by the talented Colin Stallworth.
Had 2 guys draped all over him. Pass is knocked in the air. Great concentration. That's a big-time pickup.
And it is a Brant Professional Agriculture first down for the Rockets. 1:11 to go. Clock runs in the first half. Baker going to throw left. Does. Back to Stallworth again. Gets out of bounds. Stops the clock.
Just a nice, simple play there. Looks like they only got about 2 or 3 yards, so not a big pickup. Great job by the Cyclone defense to not let him get going. Screens and quick passes are a big part of the Rochester offense.
One minute to go, second quarter action. Mike McNicholas checks in for the Rockets. Baker fakes. Going to throw. He is nailed. He delivered but he's got a touchdown pass. And the Rockets get on the board before halftime. And it's Avante Cox with the touchdown. That is a young security touchdown and $50 donated to Contact Ministries.
I'll tell you what, Nick Baker is a tough kid. He took a huge hit at the end of that play and delivered a perfect ball to a wide-open Avante Cox. Great job by the Rocket offense.
He was leveled, and you're going to see it, I think, right here. If the camera stayed on him on this, let's see. He just got hit, and a great play there.
He got hit hard. Great job.
Rockets on the board, going for the point after here. Trying to make it a 10-point deficit.
Now that's got this Rocket sideline back energized and back into this game there.
Definitely. And it's a low kick, but it's good. Good enough. Beauty doesn't matter.
No. As long as it goes through the two big pulls, we're good.
That's what they tell me. 17-7. Sacred Heart Griffin over Rochester. And you see the Rochester sideline and just what the doctor ordered if you're a Rochester Rocket. So there you see. Now here you're going to see, let's see if this angle shows the hit.
Boom.
There it is on Baker.
Just delivered a perfect
Tough cookie.
ball. Yeah. Now, there's 52 seconds left in this half. This half isn't over yet, folks. This SHG team can really come back and strike just as fast as we just saw Rochester did.
No doubt about it. And when I let you know, our regularly scheduled Friday night CW programming will air immediately following the game. Watch the iHeart Music Festival Night 2 tonight right after the game here on CW23. 52 seconds ago. Second quarter action from Cyclone Stadium. And let's see how the Rockets play this kickoff.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I don't think he would give him a short field here, but kicking it deep could be just as dangerous, too. It's like Spencer Red and Brian Adams are the two deep guys. Both have a lot of speed.
Standing at their own 15-yard line. And number 2, Matt White, will do the kicking honors for Rochester. And he does kick it deep. From the 18 to the 30, 35, flag on the play. Brought down at about the 41-yard line. Let's see what the flag is all about.
I would have to go with that's got to be on the Cyclones, just from where the flag is at.
Spencer Red with the return, and yes, it's on SHG.
It'd be pretty tough for that to be on Rochester just because of where the flag came in at.
Standing room only here at Cyclone Stadium tonight. That's what we thought it would be, and that's how it is.
It's a beautiful place.
Fantastic.
Lots of room to stand and catch a great view of the game anyways. They've done a beautiful job here with the new stadium, just a few years old.
And you see the recap, the Cox TD reception from 42 yards for the Rockets as they get on the board. 1st and 10 now for SHG, deep in their own territory. Brent Eisen going to hand off to Lee.
Ball's loose.
Fumble, and I think SHG got it back. Oh, my goodness.
Ooh, that ball popped up in the air.
Saw that.
Or it could have been going. We could have been Rochester again. And Nick Capriati, number 41, just comes right in and punches that ball out. He kind of kicked it in the air, and that helped Brent Eisen catch it and get down with it.
A big play for Tim Brent Eisen there on the recovery deep in their own territory. So clock running with 17 seconds to go. Could be the last play of the second quarter. Brent Eisen back to throw. Does. Complete right side down the sidelines. And out of bounds at about the 11-yard line with 8 seconds to go. And let's see how the Cyclones, as Spencer Red makes the reception there for SHG. See if the Cyclones decide to. Nope, they're not going to take a knee. No way. 3rd down. 8 seconds to go. From the 21. Brent Eisen back. Going to keep it up the middle. Has some room. He's to the 30. Slides at the 35-yard line where he is down. And that will do it here in the first half from Cyclone Stadium. Sacred Heart Griffin over Rochester 17-7. We are at halftime. Back with more You're watching SFQ Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Back with more. All right, we're not going anywhere just yet. We're going to go down in a minute to Brendan Cullerton. Adam, it's been a great first half. Lots of offense, and 17-7, just a 10-point differential. You see head coach Ken Leonard. I think he's coming over to talk to our Brendan Cullerton as you take a look at the rankings, and Sacred Heart Griffin number 1 and undefeated in the 6A poll, and some other top-notch teams in there. You see Prairie Ridge still undefeated. Yeah. Lamont, Rockford, Boylan, and Danville also 6-0.
Yeah, big game tonight against Peoria, too.
Let's go down to Brendan Cullerton. Brendan?
Guys, here with Coach Ken Leonard. You get out to that early 17-0 lead. What was working for you?
Well, the run game, and we got to throw the ball a little bit more because they're packing the box, and just little mistakes that we're making up front, and Rochester's a good defense, real good defense, and so are we. I mean, we held them to 7 points, and I thought the defense is right now. In a big game, sometimes that happens.
They did hit you with that big pass at the end of the half there. Are there going to be any adjustments to stop that, or is that just what they're going to keep trying to do?
Well, adjustments, cover them. That's what you do in football. You cover it. When you don't cover it, it's open. And, the one was a tip. I thought our kid did a good job. It just tipped. They did a good job as in. Hey, they got Division I freaking wide receivers. They're a really good football team. And so I thought our defense played really good against them.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brendan, very much. Thanks to Sacred Heart Griffin coach Ken Leonard for his comments at halftime. Back with the friendly Chevrolet halftime report. You're watching SFQ Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Back with halftime from Cyclone Stadium in just a minute. Welcome back. You're watching the friendly Chevrolet halftime show on Friday Night Rivals. We're at Cyclone Stadium. Halftime, the Cyclones lead the Rochester Rockets 17-7. Paul Wapple and Adam Anderson calling the action for you, and got a good ball game. And I want to let you know that earlier today, SFQ presented Sacred Heart Griffin High School with a $500 donation to say thank you for hosting tonight's Friday Night Rivals matchup. SFQ will make a $500 donation to each Friday Night Rivals host school throughout the season for use for their general fund. SFQ is proud to support our communities, our schools, and our students with Friday Night Rivals. Thank you to SFQ and to SHG for being gracious hosts tonight and this week leading up to the big game. We'll take a short break, back with more on the friendly Chevrolet halftime show on Friday Night Rivals. Stay with us, please. Welcome back to the friendly Chevrolet halftime report on Friday Night Rivals. Paul Wapple, Adam Anderson at Cyclone Stadium. 17-7. It's a battle of the unbeatens, a battle of two of the top teams in the state of Illinois. And I want to let you know that throughout this Friday Night Rivals season, our friends at SFQ will recognize an exceptional senior student athlete from each participating school with a plaque presentation prior to each game. This week's SFQ Scholar athletes are from Rochester, Aubrey Magro. Aubrey is a 3-year varsity letter athlete for the Rockets, playing for the reigning CSA champion basketball and softball teams. She's been a student council member and class president all 4 years while holding a 4.583 grade point average. She also enjoys volunteering at St. John's Breadline and youth basketball and softball camps. Aubrey says she intends to study criminology, psychology in college. And from Sacred Heart Griffin High School, Andrew Fiash. Andrew currently holds a 4.47 grade point average as a 3-sport athlete. He's played 4 years of football, 3 of baseball, 2 basketball for the Cyclones, making academic all-conference honors every semester he's been eligible. Andrew is active in the community, volunteering with local food and blood drives and at St. John's Hospital. He's also a National Honor Society member and very involved in the community. These students are also eligible to win a $5,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season, courtesy of SFQ. SFQ is proud to support and encourage exceptional student athletes across Central Illinois. Congratulations to both of this week's SFQ Scholar athletes. And our plaques and trophies this season are provided by K&R Tomahawk Awards and Trophies. And we appreciate that. Thanks to K&R Tomahawk Awards and Trophies. And let's go down the sidelines. Brendan Cullerton. Brendan?
Guys, I'm here with SHG Principal Sister Catherine. Now, I did have a chance to go cover a lot of your stories over at SHG. You said it made it a little hectic, but you guys moved on.
It was a wonderful week. Life goes on. Academic excellence in a community of faith is our tagline, and we just kept going this week. There was just a lot more enthusiasm, maybe, a lot of energy looking toward this game, but lots of learning going on too, engaged learning. So.
Well, it is a big week, obviously. That's why, and it's going well for you guys so far. And through talking to coaches, teachers, it's apparent that faith is a big part of everyone's mindset.
Yes, and we're very grateful for that. We are, because we're a Catholic school and a non-public school, we really can mention God, and prayer is an important part of our life at SHG. We start every morning, we pray together as a school, and then every class begins with prayer, and this morning the team and any other students that wanted to joined at Mass, and that's just a really important part of our life.
All right, thank you very much, Sister Catherine. Adam, Paul, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Appreciate that, and enjoying the action, hope you are, from Cyclone Stadium. Back with more on the Friendly Chevrolet Halftime Show on Friday Night Rivals in just a minute. Stay with us, please. Welcome back to the Friendly Chevrolet Halftime Report on Friday Night Rivals. Live from Cyclone Stadium. You're watching the action on CW23. Paul Wapple and Adam Anderson. We are at halftime. Cyclones with a 10-point lead. Rockets scored just before halftime to make it a 10-point difference.
Yeah, it really has been back and forth, but Trayvon Lee has been the difference, breaking this big 91-yard run for a touchdown. Just changed the game immediately on that run.
He just struck right away, and after just pounding the ball a number of times and hit pay dirt there. And the Cyclones were off and running, as they so often are. Then they get a field goal to make it 10-0 in the first half. And Brent Eisen with the handoff to Lee here, and he just takes off into the end zone, and it's 17-0 SHG.
Yeah,
but
he is a special running back, but big plays by Nick Baker in this Rocket offense got him back kind of in this game.
No doubt about it.
Gave them a lot of momentum into halftime, and they will come out with the ball on offense.
That's a great point, and it's good if you're a Rockets fan. You have to like that. It's been a good one so far. And you check out the stats. We expected a shootout. The total offense, Adam, the yards there, 100 more yards for SHG, no surprise. Most of them on the ground. And the Rockets go to the air, 150 yards, only 35 yards rushing for Rochester.
Yeah, and Alec Ostermeyer, the running back for Rochester, I believe only has one carry here in this game, so maybe that's something they come back with a little bit more in the second half.
Could be. We'll see how it goes here, and we're going to take a short break. Back with more on the Friendly Chevrolet Halftime Show on Friday Night Rivals. Don't go away. Welcome back to SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. I'm Paul Wapple along with Adam Anderson, and we are awaiting the start of the second half. Before we do that, we'll check in with Brendan Cullerton. Brendan?
Guys, here with Rochester coach Derek Leonard. You hit that big pass at the end, but you think you could have hit a lot more during that first half.
Yeah, gosh, we just had a few drops, and hey, big game. I think it was feeling the jitters, and I think overall played well. Defense is playing great. Their defense is playing great, and it's been a good game. We just got to get it going, get it rolling.
So you're not going to change much. You're just going to do more of the same. Hope it works out.
Yeah, we just got to make plays. To hit we just got a few catches that we thought, we got to come back with those and be able to run the ball a little bit better. That's a big adjustment. So.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Adam, Paul.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Appreciate the insights. You take a look at the 4A state rankings. Belleville-Eltoff Catholic ranked number 1, 6-0, and Rochester undefeated. Of course, we've talked about them. And interesting about Belleville-Eltoff, ranked number 1, that's the team, of course, that knocked out Rochester in the playoffs last season in a shootout. Down in Belleville.
And I know the big one is number 3, Chicago Phillips. That's going to be an interesting one to watch. October 11th, the Chicago Public School teacher strike is still scheduled. If that strike continues into Week 8 and Week 9, Chicago Phillips will not be able to participate in the playoffs, which will create a lot of different scenarios for every class.
And Mount Zion ranked 9th in this week's poll, 5-1. We saw Mount Zion a couple weeks ago, Friday Night Rivals. They beat a good Taylorville team.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very impressive in the win over Taylorville. And Taylorville is, too, one of the better 4A teams this season.
And we got a few scores we'll go ahead and mention. At halftime, Lincoln and Springfield High tied at 14.
Lincoln and Lanphier.
Lincoln and Lanphier. I checked that. I apologize. Yes.
Springfield High was down 1 to Decatur Eisenhower, 22-21. In the third quarter, North Mac was up 28-21 on Athens. Also in the third quarter, Pleasant Plains and New Berlin were tied at 3, so a tight ball game there in New Berlin. Some other scores, 21-14, Glenwood over Jacksonville at halftime.
All right, so some other key games in the area tonight. Donnie Tillman and David Coy from ABC News Channel 20 will have all the scores and highlights from the area tonight at 10:15 on the Friday Night Rivals report on ABC News Channel 20, as I mentioned, and they do a great job, and enjoyed talking to them as always on the earlier tonight. So down to Brendan on the sidelines. Brendan?
Guys, I'm here with Dr. Siegel with the Foot and Ankle Center of Illinois, and you guys are doing some interesting stuff. You've got extremity MRIs. How does that differ from a regular MRI?
Well, it's actually a lot different. The extremity MRI is unique because you don't have to sit inside of a tube. You're out in the open. Your extremity goes inside of the tube. You're watching TV as your MRI is happening. It's a very pleasant environment. Most people fear MRIs because you have to go inside of a tube. You get claustrophobic. There's weight limitations. With ours, you just sit there and watch TV while your extremity is being MRI'd. It's very comfortable. Very unique. The only place in Central Illinois that offers that.
All right, thanks, Dr. Siegel. There's a lot going on. We'll throw it back to you, Adam and Paul.
Thank you very much. So the Rockets get the ball here in the second half, and a lot of running there and get the ball out to the 30-yard line. So decent field position for the Rockets.
Vontae Cox was maybe a one more broken tackle away from taking that one to the house. He did a lot to get that. Probably needs a little bit of a breather before he comes back out on offense.
Stayed on his feet for a long time. So there you see Derek Leonard. We got his thoughts at halftime. 1st and 10 from the 30. Back to throw is Baker, tipped, and can't hang on to it is Matt Wyke for the Rockets.
And that was something Coach Leonard just talked about, is you got to eliminate the drops. You need to make some plays, and that's what they need to do. Again, can't start off with a drop there on a short pass on 1st down.
2nd and 10 from the 30. Opening series in the third quarter. There's the handoff. And pushed back and stacked up. There's Nick Dameron.
Yeah, Jack Clement, 61, the nose tackle right there. Didn't let him do anything.
Brings up 3rd down and 9. Empty backfield for Baker. Back to throw is Baker. It's picked off at the 34-yard line and brought down at the 30-yard line. The Cyclones come up with a huge turnover here in the third quarter, Adam.
Nolan Reevy steps in front, bats it in the air. Great job. He had just blanketed coverage over there. That would have been a tough throw for Baker to make anyways. Great job by Reevy.
Great concentration by Reevy. And the Cyclones with the ball on the 30-yard line of Rochester.
Not how you wanted to start off if you're Rochester. You went in with all that momentum, and you have now lost it here coming out into the second half.
So Tim Brenneisen at quarterback for the Cyclones. Hands off. Up the middle. Back to maybe the line of scrimmage.
It's Tristan.
For the Cyclones.
Tristan Blair. Yeah, came in for Tremaine Lee. Might see him a little bit more. Lee had a ton of carries there in the first half.
And Lee is in next to Brenneisen now on 2nd and 11. Lost one on the play. Brenneisen back to throw. Looks, and hit and incomplete. I thought that was a pretty close play. I was surprised I didn't see a flag, but
pretty bang
play.
So. Yeah, so it would have been tough on
Michael Healy, the intended receiver for SHG.
Bryce Casey on the coverage. SHG sideline pretty fired up about that. Thought there should have been a flag thrown.
3rd and 11. Handoff to Lee. Left side. Stacked up by Chase Kuntzman and a couple of other Rockets at about the 28-yard line.
Big 4th down coming up. Rochester needs to get a stop here, so there's no harm on that turnover. Get the ball back kind of where you had left off.
All right, 10:05 to go in the 3rd. 4th down and 7 for SHG. And this will be a 45-yard attempt.
Be a big kick.
Field goal attempt for the Cyclones. Colin Boyd. It looks long enough, and it is good. A 45-yard field goal. So the Cyclones capitalize on the turnover. It is 20-7. They lead Rochester. We will take a short timeout. Back with more third quarter action from Cyclone Stadium. You're watching SEPCU Friday Night Rivals presented by Illinois Pork Producers. Stay with us. Welcome back to SEPCU Friday Night Rivals presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Paul Wapple and Adam Anderson at Cyclone Stadium. 9:41 to go in the third quarter. The Cyclones strike again. They capitalize on the interception thanks to a 45-yard field goal by Boyd for the Cyclones. So good leg there. He had plenty of leg on that kick, Adam.
Yeah, that was a beautiful kick. He could have moved back probably 7-8 more yards and still had enough leg to get it through.
So the Cyclones will kick off to the Rockets. Colin Boyd, who has a couple of field goals tonight, will do the honors. Short kick. Fielded cleanly by the Rockets. That was a bullet at the 47-yard line. So the Rockets, out of that, will get great field position, something they certainly need, trailing 20-7, Adam.
Great job by Nick Capriati right there. I don't think they were actually trying to kick that off of him. I think they just wanted a low kick, and it hit him, and he did the right thing and just jumping right back on that football. That could have been disastrous for Rochester.
So 1st and 10 for the Rockets. See how the Rockets play this series. Baker, quarterback, going to keep it. Up the middle to about the 49-yard line, gain of about 3. I wondered, Adam, if we'd see a change in quarterback, as the Rockets have done on occasion, but we'll see if Derek Leonard stays with Baker, who's done a pretty good job tonight.
Yeah, he has talked to Josh Grant on the sideline a lot, but just nothing's come of it.
So incomplete on the pass there.
It's coming to Matt Wyke again. Just a low throw. It would have been a tough catch for Wyke to make, but again, right back into another big 3rd down.
3rd down and 7 to go. Empty backfield for Baker, who looks to the sidelines. Maybe changing the play. And he is set. Low snap. He's going to keep it. Left side, and the Cyclones read that one.
Yeah, nowhere to go right there. They read that one immediately. It would have been just a simple quarterback power play to the outside. A lot of black jerseys out there for Baker.
Nick Baker looked a little frustrated there, and we heard both Leonards talk about their teams and the defenses. They both a lot of respect for the defenses, and a lot of times in big games, it's true. The defenses, somebody has to come up big. And there's the punt on 4th down. It's a good one. Fielded at the 5. And can't quite get to the 10. So the Cyclones will take over there. Spencer Red on the return for the Cyclones.
Yeah, he kind of picked that one up because it bounced right at him. Most of the time you tell your guys you put your heels on the 10 and you don't go backwards. So maybe a little ill-advised, but he made something out of the return and got a few more yards than he would have.
Boy, the Rockets could sure use a turnover here. Something to.
Yeah, SHG's had two botched handoffs, but both they've been able to recover at some point. Rochester would just hope maybe it bounced their way.
1st and 10 from the 9 for Tim Brenneisen and the SHG offense. Handoff to Lee. And some positive yardage on the play. And I want to let you know that Friday Night Rivals is available streaming live online. Log on to CW23TV.com and click on the Friday Night Rivals link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. And there goes Tremaine Lee, a highlight reel. And this could be a highlight across midfield, down to the 40, finally drugged down at about the 30-yard line. So a huge pickup there. 37, 50-yard run for Tremaine Lee, just like that. He's explosive.
He changes the game. He is a special player. He just turned it on right here as he got to the corner. He put it in a gear that not a lot of people in the world have, and a great job by the SHG wide receivers to block downfield for him, too.
And that was a Casey's General Store 1st down for the Cyclones. And on 1st down, the Tremaine Lee with the ball again. The run. 7:35 to go, 3rd quarter. There's the handoff to Lee, who has a hole close to the 20-yard line.
It's going to be a little short of a 1st down. Looks like they'll need about a yard.
So 3rd and short. And the Cyclones with a little bit of a hurry-up offense so far in this one. And Brenneisen with a handoff. And looks like there's plenty 1st down and a little more than that for the Cyclones. And good for a Casey's General Store 1st down.
When you got an offensive line like that and a running back as special as Tremaine Lee, you can make a lot of easy calls there on 3rd and short and just try to get him the ball and get him behind those guys.
And the Cyclones, again, are in the Shields red zone. And Brenneisen trying to draw the Rockets defense off sides. There's the handoff left side. Nothing doing this time for Brian Adams, the junior running back.
Outside of a few big game-changing runs, SHG really hasn't had a ton of success running the football. A few 10, 12-yard gains here and there, but Rochester's done a good job of slowing them down and not letting them get loose.
They really have. Tristan Blair in the backfield as well. Brenneisen, after the bobble snap, keeps it, goes up the middle, and a good pickup there for Brenneisen. Didn't think he had much, but he sure did. To about the 12-yard line.
He took a big hit on the end of that play, too, so good job of Brenneisen making something out of nothing. That was a broken play. I don't think everybody was ready for that snap. So
3rd down and 5 for the Cyclones. Lee in motion. Brenneisen with the handoff. Left side, got a hole, and into the end zone. Touchdown is Tristan Blair, number 32. That is a Young Security touchdown, and another $50 to a local charity. This week's charity is Contact Ministries.
Great job by SHG. You took the focal point off of Tremaine Lee, and you got another great running back, Tristan Blair, who would play and start probably at any other team in the state. He's done a great job just when he can to step up and make plays.
So 26-7.
And it looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
Trying to make it a 28-7 game and make it a 3-touchdown difference. Brenneisen in at quarterback.
All I know is Rochester better pay attention. There's nobody out covering the whiteout for
now. Okay, now they're switching and a little confusion there, looked like, but up the middle and stretching into the end zone. Is he in? No signal from the officials. Tristan Blair with the. No, he was stopped short. So
the ball popped loose as he was trying to reach out, so I don't think he got it.
26-7. All right, we'll take a short break. Back with more third quarter action from Cyclone Stadium. You're watching SEFCU Friday Night Rivals presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Back with more in just a minute. Welcome back to SEFCU Friday Night Rivals presented by Illinois Pork Producers. I'm Paul Wapple along with Adam Anderson calling the action tonight. Cyclone Stadium, 5:26 to go in the third quarter. The Cyclones with a 26-7 lead after the touchdown run. And Adam, the Rockets need to get something going here in the third.
Yeah, they got to get in the end zone. Their defense has been on the field a lot this game. Their offense has got to get a sustainable drive, and they got to get some points here.
Boyd with the kick. Fumbled, dropped at about the 10, now at the 5. Better pick it up, and he does at the 2. Almost went back in the end zone. Oh, and hit hard on the play. And the Rockets are buried deep inside of their own territory.
Yeah, that was Parker Flynn, number 9, the senior, just came squirting through his hands out there. And
Matt Brenneisen more than happy to make the tackle on that play. Wow. So tough going here for the Rockets, but they've got a high-powered offense. We've talked about it. You know about it. And you see the recap of the scoring drive. 91 yards, took 3 minutes and 4 seconds, capped by the Blair touchdown run.
The big play, though, was the 50-yard run there by Tremaine Lee. Really turned it in the field position into a different game.
And we've got a flag down on the field.
It's going to be a delay of game, I believe.
And the Rockets certainly going the wrong way here.
On the offense,
illegal substitution.
Half the distance to the goal.
Don't know. Oh, they had 12 guys on the field.
So
I was a little confused for a second. I didn't think you could have a legal substitution. I didn't see anybody come out there. But
1st and 10 from the 3-yard line. So the Rockets in their own end zone. Baker at quarterback. Cyclones are bringing the defense in. The Rockets get out of the end zone on the carry down up to the 10. So some breathing room for Rochester as Alec Ostermeyer with a good carry and a nice pickup for Rochester.
Yeah, haven't called his name a lot tonight. Derek Leonard wanted to run the ball a little bit more, but he might have to go to what they do best, and that's throw the football.
Another handoff, this time stacked up. At about the 12. So nothing there. Brings up 3rd down and 5 for the Rockets, who are in their hurry-up offense, if you will, and trying to get something going. Back to pass. There's a fake. Baker going across the middle. Caught at 50 to the 40. Down to the 30. He will go all the way to the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Colin Stallworth with the touchdown. And the Rockets are right back in it with 4:14 to go. That is a Young Security touchdown and another $50 for charity. This week's charity, Contact Ministries. Adam, so how's that?
It wasn't a beautiful throw by Baker, but Stallworth just kind of got lost behind the defense there. I think they kind of underestimated if he was going to take off. Number 11, Jack Bull, just kind of lost track of him, and he took it the distance.
And the Rockets, 26-13. Rockets will attempt the extra point. Josh Grant, the holder.
This game is a long way from over, folks.
High snap, kick is up, and it is good. So the point after attempt is good by Clay Allowell. And it is 26-14. Just like that, the Rockets are back in it. CW, and I want to let you know at this time we're going to take a listen to the sounds of the game, brought to you by Central Illinois Hearing.
Where's the rest of the team to help them up?
Lift your trucks. See, tight end, pull. Reach your
All right, so thanks to Central Illinois Hearing for sponsoring our sounds of the game, and a lot of good sounds, a lot of good sights tonight here at Cyclone Stadium. High school football, and again, we said it a number of times before the game, and I think this is probably the biggest game in the state of Illinois tonight, Adam.
Yeah, if we're getting the attention of everybody around the state, Chicagoland, Southern Illinois, everybody's paying attention to this game tonight.
And it's a deep kick, and the Cyclones will not get the opportunity to return it. So 26-14, the Cyclones with the ball and the lead here in the third quarter. 4:14 to go, and you see the recap of the scoring drive for Rochester, capped by the 89-yard touchdown reception by Colin Stallworth.
He is a special wide receiver. Hasn't made a ton of plays tonight, so.
And 1st and 10 from their own 20. The Cyclones, Tim Brenneisen. Shotgun formation. Gives it to Lee, right side. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. Brought down at the 25-yard line. And I want to let you know that CW23 is your home for comedy. Last Man Standing, starring Tim Allen, has joined the weeknight comedy lineup at 4, followed by 2.5 Men at 5, 2 Broke Girls at 6, and Modern Family at 6:30. Weeknights right here on CW23. 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line. Rolling and running now is Brenneisen, slides at about the 35-yard line. And that is good for a first down, and that is a Casey's General Store first down. So, Adam?
Yeah, it looks like here on the sideline, Josh Grant is warming up, so hopefully everything's okay with Baker, but Grant is throwing a few more passes here than we've seen him throw on the sideline than he has all night.
We'll see if he comes in when the Rockets get the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Lee with the ball. Finds a hole, breaks a tackle, and is across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. And that's the thing, Adam. I mean, pickup of 7 is a great way to start a drive on first down, but it's incredible because he can break it any time.
Yeah,
and you just don't know.
He can turn a 2-yard play. If you take a look there, 32 carries, 271 yards. And I bet he'll be the first one to tell you he's earned every one of those 271 yards here tonight.
2nd and 3. Brenneisen to throw across to the 40, incomplete. And couldn't quite connect with Jack Bull.
Yeah, almost brought that in. Great coverage by the Rockets there, too. The tight window to fit that one in for Brenneisen. And a big 3rd and short here for Rochester. Need a big stop.
They could use one indeed. 3rd and 3. Low snap and a flag, and somebody moved.
You're going to get a false start on SHG. They're up back. Got a little bit of a head start to get in there.
The Rockets fans enjoying that call.
Snap, false start.
It'll make it 3rd and 8. So
5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Rockets could use a stop here. .245 to go. 3rd quarter. SFQ, Friday Night Rivals. Brenneisen back. Throws left. And it is complete near the first down marker. And let's see if they mark it. Michael Healy with the reception for the Cyclones.
Great job by Michael Healy. Bryce Casey was all over him, and he came down with that football. It's going to be close. They've got fourth down on the.
And the Rockets want. It's fourth and okay. It's fourth and short for the Cyclones.
There's a lot of big boys in there right now.
Fourth and short. The Cyclones will go for it. There's the handoff to Lee. And I don't know if he got it. I don't think he did from our vantage point.
From where he's running in.
Cyclones, of course, saying they have it. And they give him the first down. So that is good for a Casey's General Store first down for the Cyclones.
Tough to see there with what's going on.
First and 10 from the 45. Handoff to Tremaine Lee, right side, flag on the play. Lee across midfield, takes a few people with him down to the 45-yard line of Rochester.
Not sure what the penalty is going to be. Came on the far side. Illegal motion there.
Against the Cyclones. So that'll push them back.
Motion. Replay first down.
I think the Rochester
Motion
sideline's
offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Has been kind of trying to get the refs here on those all night. And now it's starting to pay off. I think the refs are paying a little bit more attention to it.
First and 15 now for SHG. Tremaine Lee in the backfield. He's joined by Tristan Blair. Blair in motion. Brent Eisen gives to Lee, who cuts back to the 43-yard line. As the clock continues to run here in the third.
Yeah, they are taking their time here. They have a heavy set. You know, what that means is they've taken out some of their wide receivers. They've put in a few more linemen, fullback type guys. They're trying to wear them down here.
Second down and 12. Blair in motion. Handoff to Tremaine Lee, who cuts left. Still on his feet, brought down. Nice play by the Rockets D there.
Yeah, great tackle by number 11.
That'll fire him up.
Skylar Caruso. If he doesn't make that tackle, Tremaine Lee could have been gone.
Inside, a minute to go. Third down and 12 for SHG. Ten on the play clock. Lee in the backfield. Brent Eisen back to throw. In trouble. Gets it away. Complete to Lee at the 40. To the 45, to midfield, still on his feet, the 45, the 40, 35, finally brought down at the 34-yard line of Rochester.
Great.
So a big first down there, and that is a Casey's General Store first down. Adam?
Great play call by John Allison, the offensive coordinator. Called a screen pass there, expected a heavy rush from Rochester. They got some blocks downfield. Great job by SHG.
So they will let time run down, I believe, here in the third quarter. And the Cyclones with a 26-14 lead over the Rochester Rockets. Both teams we've mentioned are undefeated, ranked number 1 and number 2 in their respective polls this week. And right now we'll go down to the sidelines. ABC News Channel 20's Brendan Tellerton. Brendan?
Guys, just trying to draw some attention to a fun game we're doing with the Illinois pork producers. Scott, can you tell me a little bit about Porkapalooza?
Porkapalooza, it's awesome, actually. It's a great game you can play on any smartphone that you have. All you got to do is text 43817. Got to text them the word pork. Play the fun little scratcher game on there. Get a chance to win some pork in association with the county market and the Illinois pork producers. Great playing all the way through the end of the month. Awesome play anytime. throughout that entire month.
Sounds like fun. All right, thanks, Scott. Adam, Paul, back to you.
Thanks, Brendan, and we'll take a short timeout. Back with more SFQ Friday Night Rivals presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Back with more from Cyclone Stadium in just a minute. And it is holding against SHG, so that will come back as we start the fourth quarter.
Big number 69, Alex Montel, got a little too much jersey there on that play and had a pretty blatant hold.
So opening seconds of the fourth quarter here from Cyclone Stadium. And
on the offense, 15-yard penalty.
So had another personal foul that looks like it's going to be added onto it. And that's, so I said it last week. Now we're at first in a country mile.
First in a city mile. All right. So first and 25. No, make that.
Right there. 69 had a little too much jersey there on the hold.
All right, so we sorted things out, I think. It is first and 40 from the 36 of Rochester. Tim Brenneisen, a long way to go. Back to throw. Does throw, complete, left side, and not much there, about to the 36-yard line.
Bryce Casey on the stop. He's done a great job here tonight, making some big plays.
And there is a Major League Baseball game going on right now. I will just tell you the score and hope you're watching us, not the baseball game. But Cubs and Giants are scoreless in the top of the fifth.
Top of the fifth
inning in Chicago at Wrigley Field. So game one of the NLDS. All right, we've got a good one here. Second down and long for SHG. Brenneisen back to throw. Looks. Got his man. Complete. Nope. Dropped. Had it for a second. I thought he was going to hang on to it, and it is dropped on the play. And Rockets like that because
17. Ben Chapman comes in, makes a big hit
on Spencer Red.
Couldn't have played it more beautifully than that.
So, Adam, it is third and 40 for the Cyclones.
But
so
if number 2 is in my backfield, I still feel okay about this being third and 40. He's made bigger plays than this tonight.
If he doesn't get you 40, he might get you 20 at least. Let's see. Brenneisen's going to throw. In trouble, running. Still looking to throw. Does throw back. Tough play to make, and it is picked up by the Rockets at the 30-yard line, or short of the 30, at the 28-yard line. And the Rockets come up with a big turnover. Skylar Caruso has it for Rochester, and a flag on the play at the 40-yard line. Let's see what that's all about.
I think it's going to be an illegal man downfield.
Declined, of course, and Rochester ball with 10:45 to go, trailing 26-14.
You know, the turnover there is, you don't want that. You're really not hurt much with it being third and 40. You almost threw that one to first down. You could have punted and done it the exact same thing. So
that's one way to look at it. Absolutely.
Now it gets the Rochester sideline excited and gets a little bit more momentum back on their side, but they got to put a drive together here.
First and 10 for the Rockets from the 28-yard line. Handoff. Some positive yardage there for the Rockets. For Alec Ostermeyer. Second down and 9. 10:29 to go here in the fourth. Baker going to keep it. Hit hard at the 30 and brought down at the 31-yard line.
There have been some big hits tonight on both sides of the field. Probably going to be a lot of sore guys.
Check that. Right, Baker.
That was Josh Grant. Yeah.
Check that, number 14.
14.
Now Baker
19,
at quarterback.
Little confusing.
Yes. Back to throw is Baker. Going.
That ball
it's
floated out of his hand.
And an intended receiver was Avante Cox. and that ball was up for a while. And a flag on the play, was it
Is
late hit on SHG,
yeah,
roughing the passer.
And they have been.
So a big break for the Rockets there.
Derek has been in the ears of the refs on that, too.
Derek Leonard, the Rochester coach, of course.
The Rochester coach. So he has been in the refs' ears. I think Baker has taken some late hits and finally got one called.
All right. 9:45 to go. Rochester with the ball trailing.
Roughing the passer, defense.
And that is good for a Brant Professional Agriculture first down on the play. Ball spotted just shy of the 46-yard line.
That's a big, that's a big penalty on third down. Gives the Rockets new life.
Empty backfield for Baker. Cox in motion. Pitches to Cox up the middle. Ball popped loose, recovered by the Rockets, and still on his feet across midfield is number 55, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. And a big recovery and a pretty good pickup there for Sean Brewer, the 6'4", 230-pound offensive lineman, defensive lineman for the Rockets.
I mean, I bet he didn't expect to hold the football here tonight in the game, so good job by him to be on the spot and be paying attention.
Pickup of 6 on the crazy play there. 2nd and 4. Cox in motion. Fakes the pitch to him this time. Baker back to throw. Does. Down the sidelines. Incomplete. Out of bounds. You only need 1 foot in, of course, in high school, but he did not have either foot in bounds. It was close, but Mike McNicholas for Rochester couldn't quite haul it in inbounds.
Yeah, that would have been a highlight reel catch, and he should be happy that he made it anyways, but his toe just did not get down inbounds.
3rd and 4 for the Rockets. Low snap. Baker throws a strike. Complete at the 40. Still on his feet. 35. Down to the 30-yard line is Adam Schwartz. First time we've called his name tonight.
Yep, he made a big play there. Turned a first down into a big 15-yard catch. And that's what these Rockets need here.
That is a Brant Professional Agriculture first down. 1st and 10 from the 31. Baker throws. Got his man wide open down the sidelines. Touchdown! Colin Stallworth from 31 yards. That's good for a Young Security touchdown. And another $50 to charity, Contact Ministries.
Number 11, Jack Bull, again, did not get over quick enough on Stallworth, and that's what happens again. You give him an inch, he'll take it a mile. Great job by Baker and Stallworth, and the Rockets are right back in this football game.
26-20. The Rockets will go for 1. Into kick. Attempt the extra point. Number 95, play all well. It's a big extra point. And it is up, and it is good. So it is 26-21. SHG over Rochester. Back with more fourth quarter action. You're watching SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. Back with more from Cyclone Stadium in just a minute. Welcome back to SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by Illinois Pork Producers. Paul Wapple and Adam Anderson. 26-21, the Cyclones with a 5-point lead over the Rochester Rockets. 8:39 to go here in the fourth. A lot of time, a lot of game left, and we have a good one here in Springfield at Cyclone Stadium. There's the kick. Back at the 5. Now to the 15, the 20. 25, cuts back. Now to the 25, long way to go, and brought down at the 29-yard line after a long run, and there is a flag on the play.
It's going to be a late hit on Sacred Heart Griffin. That's going to be a dead ball, 15-yard penalty.
So the momentum has definitely shifted here. Let's see. Wait for the official's call here. So 8:26 to go here in the fourth. 5-point game. Cyclone Stadium. Battle of unbeaten. Central State Conference. Explosive offenses. I don't know what else I can tell you except this is great high school football, ladies and gentlemen.
If you turned it off, you're crazy.
It's awesome.
If you thought maybe this game was going to get out of hand, that was never going to happen. And Rochester's now energized. They're back in this game.
Personal foul.
Sacred Heart Griffin now will start 1st and 10 from its own 15. Tremaine Lee in the backfield for SHG, and he has had a huge night. They could use him now.
Going to be a false start. Yeah. This Rochester sideline is pretty loud. I think the Griffin offensive line is having a tough time hearing the snap count.
And the Rockets D is fired up. No doubt about that.
False start. Offense.
Make it 1st down and 15 from the 10. Their own 10. Rockets. Fired up. Brent Eisen. Handoff to Lee. Left side. Stacked up. And a host of Rockets there at the 14-yard line. And the gain there of 4, maybe 5 yards is it's almost a moral victory when Tremaine Lee has the ball for Rochester, stopping him there, holding to 5 yards. So 2nd down and 10 from the 15. Brent Eisen fakes the handoff to Lee. Back to throw. In trouble. He is sacked at the 5-yard line. And the Rockets are fired up, and why not? A big play there for the Rockets D. Nick Capriati, the junior, with the big play for Rochester.
You know, I was faked out for a second. I was looking at Tremaine Lee getting tackled in the backfield, and then I look up, and Nick Capriati's making the big sack. So great job by the Rocket linebacker to not fall for the fake and put the pressure on Brent Eisen. And they need a big play here.
Excuse me, it is 3rd and 20. 7:09 to go in the game. From their own 5, the Cyclones. Brent Eisen in the end zone, back to throw, in trouble, gets it out to Lee. Caught at the 5, he's still on his feet. Going back the other way to the 10, 15, 20. It's going to be a foot race, 2 people can catch him. He's midfield and out of bounds. Across midfield, Tremaine Lee on 3rd and 20 from the 5, and you thought the Rockets had him buried, and just like that, Tremaine Lee with the short pass. What a play, and Brent Eisen was under pressure, got rid of it, and Lee broke a couple tackles, and look at this run. Unbelievable.
That is deflating if you're a Rocket fan. You had him 3rd and long. You had him in it deep in his end zone. That was a slow developing play. He flipped it out late to Tremaine Lee, and he just made something out of nothing. He had 5 or 6 times where he could have been tackled and turned it into a huge game.
That's good for a Brant Professional Agriculture 1st down. And timeout, I believe, is called by the Rockets. They want to slow things down and talk about it a little bit. So we'll take a break, too, a short one, and we'll be back with more. You're watching SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by Illinois Pork Producers. Back with more from Cyclone Stadium in just a minute. Stay with us. Welcome back to SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by Illinois Pork Producers. And right now we take a look at our Smile Cam here at Cyclone Stadium. It's on the campus of Sacred Heart Griffin High School in Springfield. And what a night for high school football, and lots of smiles. And you see the SEFCU Smile Cam back to action, and no, not action. Stoppage in play, penalty flags on the play. See what it's all about.
Another false start by the Cyclones.
Snap, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
So 5 yards back, pushes the Cyclones back. 1st and 15. Cyclones with the 5-point lead and 6:47 to go. 4th quarter action. If you're flipping back and forth from the Cubs game, you've got a good high school football game here for you between 2 of the best teams in the state of Illinois. Brenneisen, low snap, handoff, and a nice pickup there, a nice run for Tristan Blair, the 5'11 senior for the Cyclones.
Yeah, got a few carries tonight, made the most of it with the touchdown earlier. He's really just trying to give Tremaine Lee a few breaks here and there. He's been doing it all here for the Cyclones tonight. He is as good as advertised, folks.
It is 2nd and 12 for SHG. They were in Rockets territory. Lee is in the backfield. Brenneisen with the handoff to Lee. Left side, shows some speed. Down to the 42-yard line. Bring up third in a manageable situation for SHG.
And I think if Rochester can get a stop here, I believe Cigar Griffin would punt, play the field position game.
And you see the statistics there, 9 penalties on the SHG offense tonight for 92 yards. So that's pretty substantial.
Yeah, and it really haven't been a heavily penalized game here tonight, but they've had some big ones.
3rd and 7, Tristan Blair is next to Brenneisen. Back to throw, but the play is stopped. Flag on the play.
Another false start.
Tack on another 5 yards, so 97 yards and offensive penalties for
false start.
SHG
Offense.
tonight.
5-yard penalty, still going to be 3rd down.
5:19 to go, 4th quarter action. Hasn't been a high-scoring game, but it's been a pretty well-played game, and
it's been very exciting. A lot of momentum shifts, a lot of swings, big plays.
You gotta love it.
Even on turnovers, it's been a very well-played ball game.
3rd and 12 for SHG. Brenneisen will throw. Near side, complete. And out to the 42-yard line for SHG is Vince Mounts.
Yeah, just pretty short play right there, and now it's up to the mastermind, Ken Leonard, on what he wants to do right here.
Big play, big decision to make here. Ball is at the 43-yard line. It is 4th and 7 for SHG. 4:24 to go. Clock continues to run. Brenneisen.
I think he's going to punt, Paul.
And that's exactly what he does. Fielded at the 15-yard line. Taken to the 30, 35, and out to the 37-yard line. And a flag on the play. Levante Cox with the punt return. Let's see what the flag is all about.
I believe it's going to be against the Rockets.
So 4:08 to go. The Cyclones holding on to a 5-point lead.
But a block in the back on a return team. 10-yard penalty. Results of the play is a 1st down.
Now after that play, Coach Ken Leonard very fired up, and his quarterback Tim Donneville wanted him to punt it, didn't want him to kick it exactly to Levante Cox in the middle of the field, because that's such a quick kick. Your coverage team isn't down there very fast. So I think he was pretty upset at kicking it to him. You see right there the block in the back. It sets him back 10, so 90 yards to take the lead.
1st and 10 from the 13. 4:08 to go. Back to throw. Baker is going to throw. It's up there for a while. Couple SHG defenders there, and they break up the pass. Intended receiver was Stallworth on the play near midfield. And right now we'll go down to Brendan Cullerton on the sidelines. Brendan?
Guys, how big is that missed 2-point conversion looking now when it was 26-7? Didn't seem like that big of a deal, but I bet you Coach Ken Leonard would love to be up by 7 or 8 points even instead of the 5 or 6 or 7 instead of the 5 he's up now, because even an extra point, not an automatic in high school, but any touchdown from Rochester, now they take the lead.
All right, thank you very much, Brendan Cullerton from ABC News Channel 20 with our sideline reports tonight. 4 minutes to go. 2nd and 10 from the 13. Baker fakes. Now he's going to keep it. And he is brought down by the Cyclones D. And that's a tough one for the Rockets. 3:44 to go. Rochester has 2 timeouts left. SHG has all 3 of theirs remaining. As we watch the clock.
On that play before the pass break up to Stallworth, if Baker would have peeked a little bit to the outside, both of the SHG defenders were so focused on Stallworth that Matt Weick was running down the sideline wide open. So
3rd and 14 for Baker and the Rockets. They need a first down. And the play clock, I think it's going to be delay a game. Adam, not what you need deep in your own territory.
That one is on Baker. You have 2 play clocks that you're looking at. He's got to be cognizant of that and pay attention. You know Rochester didn't want to burn a timeout right
Half
there.
the distance to the goal line, still 3rd down. Ball's going to start in the snap.
3:05 to go. 3rd and 18 for Rochester. Let's see how the Rockets play it on 3rd and long.
It's like Rochester
timeout.
Call a timeout.
They want to talk about it. Probably a good idea to do so.
It's a big play in the game.
You know, Adam, I wouldn't imagine. I was talking to somebody today, and they said, I wonder how many Class 4A teams are playing a Class 6A team tonight, especially of this caliber. And I thought there probably aren't that many games in the state of Illinois that take place. Rochester playing a 6A school ranked number 1, Rochester ranked number 2. We mentioned that several times in 4A. So, and want to remind you that on Monday, October 26th, watch the Supergirl season premiere at 7 p.m. right here on CW23.
When you think about it, I would imagine not a lot of 4A coaches are trying to find those 6A teams to play regardless. That is a 2-class jump, so most of the time your enrollment's are pretty different from one another. And usually that means you just have a few more guys, a few more bodies to get out there, and might have a few more athletes that you can get on the field.
And look at this, father versus son, the coaching comparison of Rochester and SHG head coaches. And look at that. Incredible. The winning percentage, fantastic in both. 5 state championships. Derek won 5 in a row with the Rockets. Some impressive numbers by Ken Leonard and his son, Derek. From his end zone, Baker still looking, going deep. And is tipped and incomplete. Tipped by the SHG defense there. So nothing doing. Spencer Red broke it up for the Cyclones.
Now they are very lucky that no flag was called on number 11, Jack Bull, who was just running down the field. Actually checked at number 34, Matt Brentheisen, was just running down the field with his hands in the air. You could have easily called face guarding, which is a pass interference penalty.
Now, Adam, it's 4th and 18, 2:57 to go. If you're Rochester, you have 1 timeout left. You've got to punt here. You've got to punt.
I think you...
And hold, don't you? I mean, 4th and 18, you're on your own 5.
Yeah, if maybe you weren't on your own 5, you could think about it, but Derek Leonard's a lot smarter than I am, so let's see what he does. But they better get the play off.
Play clock goes off. Good call.
He did get a timeout in, so they're out of timeout, so I would expect him to go for it right here.
So now you're going to be 4th and 19, 20 yards to go. Or no, they didn't get they got the timeout. Okay,
they got the timeout before the penalty.
I stand corrected here, yes. So I watched the play clock go down, so 2:57 to go. 5-point SHG lead. Wow, what a game. What a game. Lived up to all the pregame hype and advanced billing and promotion and everything else.
Yeah,
and I want to take this opportunity to thank Sacred Heart Griffin High School and their entire staff for their hospitality, and also want to thank Rochester High School as well for letting the folks from ABC News Channel 20 and Fox Illinois come in, do some stories on their great academic programs and other things that are going on at both of these schools. And certainly a lot more than just athletics. We talked on the Pepsi High School football preview show at between 6:30 and 7. We talked to Derek's mom, who was, of course, Ken Leonard's wife, Liz, who's battled cancer, had stage 4, diagnosed with that, stage 4 cancer last December, and she's doing very well. I'm glad to hear that. So you take a look at the last 5 Leonard Bowl games, and SHG has come on top over the last 5 games, and some pretty high-scoring games there.
And it's always been a close one. You know, even last year, that 54-34 game was a lot closer than that score.
So 4th down and 18 from the 5. So let's see what the Rockets do here. Back to throw. And trying to get out of the end zone is Baker, and brought down, I think, at the 1 or the 2. It'll be Cyclones ball as they get it a turnover on downs. 1st down SHG with 2:48 to go.
Great job by the Cyclone defensive line just to get pressure in his face. Number 8, Andrew Fiash, our scholar athlete, with the big sack there. That's a huge play in this game.
SHG can add to its 5-point lead with 2:48 to go. 1st and goal from the 1. And Tremaine Lee is in.
Crazy concept here. I would almost just let SHG score.
And let's see how the Rockets played here. Tremaine Lee, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown from a yard out. So the Cyclones add to their lead, and it is a Young Security touchdown, and it means another $50 goes to this week's charity, and it's Contact Ministries. And the Cyclones are pretty revved up after the Tremaine Lee touchdown. What a night he is having.
Yeah, he's having a big night. But, folks, this game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. What I say about just letting them score is you don't have any timeouts. They have the ball on the 1. If you can get the ball back, get a quick score, and then attempt an onside kick, we're right back at the same spot, and you still have a shot. But you cannot stop the clock now instead of just getting out of bounds or getting 1st downs.
Boyd with the extra point attempt. It is up, and it is good. So 33 for the Cyclones, 21 for the Rochester Rockets. 2:42 to go in the ball game. Rochester out of timeouts. As you said, they cannot stop the clock on timeouts. And the Cyclones have all 3 of theirs left. They lead, though, by 12. Adam, uphill climb for Rochester, but with an explosive offense. Like you said, anything can happen. It's high school football. And all it takes is one play, and you're right back in this thing. And we are going to take a look at our sack of the game tonight, brought to you by the Springfield YMCA. Our sack of the game, brought to you by the Springfield YMCA. So it just happened there on 4th down. Cyclones came up big, and they get the Springfield YMCA sack of the game, and it's a big one.
Here
so
it is.
You see Baker and back and just in trouble, and brought down there by the Cyclones D. Swarmed all over him.
It was actually a big play by Baker to get out of the end zone. If he would have took a safety, it's 2 points to SHG, and they also get the football back. That probably would have effectively ended this game.
So and they've just announced the final score. The Lincoln Railers have won their first game of the season. They beat Lanphier 21-20.
So congratulations to the Lincoln community. snaps, a big losing skid for them. Also a final, New Berlin 10, Pleasant Plains 9. And then North Mac wins 42-35 against Athens.
At the 25. Now down to the 30, and that's where the Rockets will start this drive. So
Chapman got tripped up by his own guy right there.
Ben Chapman, the wide receiver, defensive lineman, the junior for Rochester. Rockets need to score and in a hurry, and in at quarterback is Josh Grant, number 14 for Rochester. So we'll see what Grant can do late in the fourth. Comes out throwing, complete to the 40 and out to the 44-yard line. For the Rockets is Matt Wyke. And that is good for a Brant Professional Agriculture first down. Clock stops there, 2:33 to go.
Still a lot of game
left.
A lot of game left.
Empty backfield for Grant, who's going to keep it up the middle. Close to midfield and just gets up to midfield on the carry. So Josh Grant and the Rockets fighting. Clawing. 2nd and 4. 2:10 to go in the game. Back to throw. Grant complete. Wide open. Cyclones playing a little bit of a prevent defense. Matt Wyke with the reception for the Rockets. They'll move the chains. That's good for a Brant Professional Agriculture first down.
Yeah, Cyclones are just trying not to get beat over the top to give up the big touchdown, but they're letting up 5-6 yards at a time underneath, and they're turning into plays for the Rockets.
Low snap. Grant going to keep it. Runs. And brought down at the 41-yard line. And Derek Leonard trying to get a play called in pretty quickly to his quarterback. With time running down, 1:42 to go in the game. Grant going to throw across the middle, overthrows. Intended receiver was Matt Wyke. Stops the clock with 1:32 to go. Brings up 3rd down and 9 for the Rockets, who are obviously in 4-down territory. Trailing by 12. Both teams 6-0. Grant dumps it across the middle, complete to Wyke, who's on his feet at the 30, has the first down to about the 25-yard line. Good for another Brant Professional Agriculture first down with 1:21 to go in the game.
Clock stops, all the chains move, so they're going to get a play called. And again, I still think there's a lot of time here left in this game.
Grant going to keep it up the middle, has some room. Down inside the 20. He's inside the Shields red zone with 1:09 to go. Rockets, hurry up offense. Just inside the 20 on Grant back to throw. Got his man Wyke across the middle. Down inside the 5 to the 4. And that is good for another Brant Professional Agriculture first down. And 1st and goal for the Rockets.
Clock stops again until the ball's started, and I think this prevent defense came a little too early for the Cyclones.
51 seconds to go in the 4th. Trailing by 12. Rockets trying to cut into that lead. They need to score, and quickly. And a timeout is called by Ken Leonard and the SHG Cyclones with 51 seconds to go. It's the Cyclones' first timeout. They still have 2 left, and the Rockets 1st and goal at them from the Cyclones 5.
Yeah, I thought they went to the prevent defense a little too early right there and kind of sat back, and Coach Derek Leonard took what was open and got the ball, some short passes that turned into big plays, and great job by the Rockets to get into scoring position.
And coming up this weekend on Fox, our sister station, see Washington at Oregon, some good college football. And it's tomorrow at 6:30. And then Sunday, the Chicago Bears take on the Indianapolis Colts. In Indianapolis, that's Sunday at noon. And on ABC this weekend, our News Channel 20, you can see Notre Dame at NC State. And BYU takes on Michigan State. At 2:30, it's Florida State, ranked 23rd against number 10 Miami. And Saturday at 7, Ball State and Central Michigan. And then you see Saturday Night Rivals tomorrow night, Milford at Salt Fork. That's at 7 tomorrow night right here on CW23. All right, back to live action here. First and goal from the 5, 54 seconds to go. Grant in at quarterback, looking, rolling right, throws complete at the 2, not into the end zone. He's down at the 2. Clock should continue to run, and it does. 45 seconds. Ball is down on the 2. And see what the Rockets do. They spike it. Grant spikes the ball. Stops the clock with 36 seconds to go, Adam. First and goal, or check that, second and goal. Let's see what the Rockets come up with here. Need to score an onside kick like you mentioned and see what happens. They don't have to go for 2 if they score the touchdown. And Stallworth comes into the game.
They're getting a few extra seconds here. They're arguing about the clock did not stop when
and the play clock hasn't. So, yeah, they are. So, Grant, 4 receivers left. Stallworth lined up on the right. Josh Grant, the senior quarterback.
He's got 4 receivers to his left here, too.
Third and goal from the 1. Low snap. Grant looking. Throws. Complete. Touchdown. Avante Cox with the 1-yard touchdown reception. That is a Young Security touchdown. And another $50 for this week's charity. And that's Contact Ministry. So thanks to Young Security. And Adam, 33-27. Don't have to go for 2 here. You can, obviously, but you don't have to. And 35 seconds to go.
This is a big extra point, though. If they do get the ball back on the onside, which everybody here in the stadium and everybody at home knows that's what's going to be coming up on the kickoff.
Clay Allwelt with the kick. And it is up, and it is good. So 33-28. Cyclones lead the Rockets. 35 seconds to go in the game. Again, Rochester, no timeout. Sacred Heart Griffin has 2. And I think everybody and their brother is expecting an onside kick, Adam.
I don't know if there's going to be anybody sitting down in here. There's not going to be anybody probably sitting down at home. This is the game right here. If SHG cannot recover this and Rochester gets it back, there's still a lot of time left again for this Rocket offense.
Get your hands team out there. All right. Friday Night Rivals is available streaming live online. Log on to CW23TV.com and click on the Friday Night Rivals link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. CW23TV.com. Check out all the action there if you'd like to. And we still have 35 seconds left in this one. It's lived up to the hype. Now you see the scoring recap there. 70 yards. Took them 2:08 to go. And Rockets are a little bit talking on the sidelines. And everybody expecting the onside kick.
See what side he goes to. I would imagine most kickers like to kick it to their right. So we would be kicking towards the Sacred Heart Griffin sideline.
Talk about a little bit of pressure. Number 95, Clay Allwelt, is a freshman. And Rockets getting lined up. Sacred Heart Griffin has 7-8 players close to midfield, anticipating the onside kick. 33-28, SHG. There is the kick. Oh, it's a high bounce.
They got it back.
And the Rockets got the ball. I think the Rockets got the ball near midfield. A perfect onside kick. Let's see who got it. Oh, my goodness. This one is not over yet. 32 seconds to go. And you see the pile, and look at that. The Rockets are fired up. Number 16, Cade Eddington.
Huge play there.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
You folks that got in your car and drove home, you're missing an exciting one.
Look at that replay. Great camera work by our crew. Done an outstanding job. All right, here we go. 32 seconds, no timeouts. Rochester with the ball. Josh Grant at quarterback, and the Cyclones want to talk about it. Wow, father versus son, battle of unbeatens, the Leonard Bowl. Say what you want. It's been a good one. 33-28. Cyclones with the lead. Their defense needs to come up big. We talked in the pregame with Donnie Tillman and David Coy and some others about defense would need to come up big, somebody's defense. So we'll see if the Cyclones can do it. The number 1 team, ranked team in 6A against the number 2 team in Class 4A.
Tell you what, though, hats off to Kate Eddington on that onside kick. Onside kicks are not easy. What you practice for is to get that big second bounce. He got it perfectly. Beautiful job by the Rockets.
Rockets are 49 yards away from taking the lead and possibly winning this game. 1st and 10 from the 49. In case you just joined us, it's been a good one. Josh Grant. Empty backfield. From his 45, fakes the throw. Grant rolling, hit hard. Dropped at the 35-yard line. Avante Cox had it in his hands, Adam.
I think he got a little too excited, tried to run before the catch, and you got to secure that one right there. I think he was worried about catching it and getting out of bounds.
Wow.
Josh Grant took a big hit at the end of that play, too. Hopefully he's all right.
2nd and 10 from the 49. Because Cox had a little bit of room had he held on to that ball. But let's see what happens on 2nd down and 10. Grant from the 45. Heaves it up in the air. Left side. Up for grabs. And cannot haul it in is Colin Stallworth. Cyclones were there on the defense. 19 seconds to go. 3rd and 10.
Jack Bowl made a play right there. He had kind of been picked on earlier by Stallworth. And at this point, if you're Rochester, you just need 10 yards. You don't have to make up all 49 at once. You just need 10. Clock will stop at a 1st down.
See if the Rockets go toward the sidelines. In need of a 1st down. Clock obviously a big factor. 19 seconds to go. Grant back. Goes left side again and is caught, but by the Cyclones out of bounds. A break there. Collins checked that, the Cyclones defense, and I'm not sure what miscommunication may be there on that play.
Yeah, Stallworth was going in. Nolan Reevy with the catch just didn't get his feet in bounds, but Stallworth went in for a post. Grant threw that ball outside.
13 seconds to go. 33-28 SHG.
That was actually Nick Baker who came running in.
4th and 10. Need the 1st down and some other yardage. And timeout, Sacred Heart Griffin. They want to talk about this one, and why not? This is the ball game.
Yeah, this is it right here. And again, you only need 10 yards.
And to get out of bounds, like you said, the clock will stop.
The clock will stop
on 1st down.
On 1st down,
and you could spike it. You could on the 1st down play if you get it, or go sideline and get out quickly. But they need at least 10 yards. So,
if you get 10, 1st down, stop the clock, spike. You got enough time, and Nick Baker has the arm to just heave one in the end zone because you might be tight on time at that point. You're probably going to be about 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Still got a lot of time there to launch one in the end zone.
Maybe get a pass interference call or something like that.
Yep. And with 6'5" Colin Stallworth, he's very dangerous in a jump ball situation.
This has definitely been one of the best Leonard Bowls, no doubt about it. Father versus son, Ken versus Derek, and Liz Leonard. We talked to her in the pregame, of course, and everything. And
it's probably not her favorite.
Right, not her favorite. She'd be glad when the game's over, and she wanted a good game, I think, and she certainly got one. And Derek's brother Brad, Ken's son Brad, I'm sure enjoying the action too. So here we go. 4th and 10 from the 49. Grant back to throw. And it is complete and good for a first down at the 36-yard line. The catch made by Colin Stallworth. The clock will stop 5 seconds ago. Ball is at the 36-yard, and
Matt White
trying to move the ball.
Matt White made the catch. He's still down. He took a big hit on the catch.
Check that, Mac. Okay, Mike White with the catch. First down. It's a Brant Professional Agriculture first down. Derek Leonard trying to calm his team down 5 seconds ago. They need a touchdown. 5 seconds. And they will spike the ball. It appears they will spike the ball and set up for one, I would think, final play. Grant has the call from the sidelines. He's under center. And yes, he does spike the ball. Clock stops with 3 seconds to go. 3.2 to be exact. So second down, which is irrelevant at this point. You need to go to the end zone. You're 36 yards away. You've got Wyke. You've got Stallworth. You've got Avante Cox. And
Nick Baker.
Bring in Nick Baker, number 19, the quarterback who started this game.
He's got the stronger arm out of both of them.
So, play clock at 10 seconds. Flag on the play. Oh, might be a legal substitution.
Yeah, they had
too many
guys out on the field running back and forth.
Okay, cost you 5 yards. Not what you wanted if you're Rochester, but
nothing hurt.
No time off the clock. Anything else? You still have to go for it here.
Legal substitution. Here we go, guys.
Okay. So it is 2nd and 15. Nick Baker back in at quarterback for Rochester. 3 seconds to go. From the 41. Low snap. Handoff. Flea flicker. Back to Baker. Baker in trouble. He needs to get rid of it, and he does. It's deep and is deflected by the Cyclones, and they hang on to win on the final play of the game. 33-28. What a game at Cyclone Stadium. Can you believe it?
That's unbelievable ending. Great job by Rochester to come back, and great attempt by Nick Baker to get that play off. Just came a little short.
Wow, what a game. We'll take a short break. Back with more from Cyclone Stadium in just a minute. You're watching SEPCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Illinois Pork Producers. We'll be right back. Welcome back to SEPCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by Illinois Pork Producers. Paul Wapple and Adam Anderson. The Cyclones of SHG have just defeated the Rochester Rockets 33-28. A game that went down to the final play of the game. It was fantastic. And right now we're going to take a look at our defensive play of the game, brought to you by Griffiths Construction. Defend your home against the upcoming winter weather with Griffiths Construction, siding and windows. And it's the Cyclones coming up big on defense there. Number 9, Nolan Reevy, with our play of the game. And a big play for the Cyclones defense. They came up with the big play when they had to, and Cyclones and Rockets and offense and defense and big plays, Adam. Wow, what a night.
Yeah, I would expect both of these teams to be playing late November, maybe Thanksgiving weekend. This game was everything it lived up to. It lived up to. This was a wonderfully played ball game. It's sad that somebody has to lose, and great job by both teams.
Congratulations to both teams. Outstanding. Great sportsmanship, great game. 33-28. So the Rockets fall to 6-1 with the loss. SHG moves to 7-0, and in first place in the Central State 8 Conference as well for the Cyclones. And what a night of football, high school football here at Cyclone Stadium.
Yeah, two great teams, two great communities too. They support their football and their coaches, and it's just great to see. You don't see a lot of things like this, a father-son matchup anywhere, probably across the United States. So we're very blessed to have two of the best coaches.
And you want to take a look at the Sacred Heart Griffin State Championships. We've got them. We show them on the screen, and they won in 05, 6, 8, 13, and 14, and some good championship games for Ken Leonard and Sacred Heart Griffin. the Cyclones. So Derek Leonard, the Rochester Rockets, they won 5 in a row. They were beaten last year in the playoffs, didn't make it to the championship game. So, and then there you see Rochester's run there, 10 through 14. Just incredible. 2 tremendous schools, and as we look on the field, Adam, now we see both teams down, and it's just tremendous sportsmanship and just fantastic to see.
Yeah, just great sport. Both of these communities really care a lot about one another. They support one another, especially on those state weekends where they were both playing. I think there were just as many Sacred Heart Griffin fans there cheering for Rochester, and then on the next day there were a lot of Rochester fans cheering for Sacred Heart Griffin as well.
And we will be naming the player of the game, the Midwest Rehab player of the game, momentarily. And we will also have the SEFCU Champions Trophy in just a moment as well here from Cyclone Stadium. And you take a look at now some of the highlights from tonight's game, and again, what a game. And there you see the Nolan Reevy with the INT for the Cyclones, and
that opened our
Tremaine Lee
second
here.
half too.
Tremaine Lee with the tremendous speed, I had to say that. And just a great night for him. His final numbers are just incredible, and hopefully we'll get a look at those in just a moment. But unbelievable. The Cyclones offense is everything I think people have talked about and heard that it was. Big offensive line, and there you see Blair going into the end zone for the Cyclones, and Rockets just back and forth. You thought they might have been out of it trailing in the first half, second half, and came back. And there you see the big reception there for the Rockets. Stallworth, just an incredible night of football. And, again, we expected a lot of offense, good offense. We saw some good defense, too.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good defense, too. Both defenses need to be excited. They played their tails off tonight and really controlled the game.
So, again, and it's just a beautiful night for high school football. And I will take this opportunity to thank all of our statisticians and camera crew and everybody inside the truck, outside the truck, done a great job. All the staff at ABC News Channel 20 and Fox, Illinois, and all of our sponsors for so we're able to bring to you SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, and presented by Illinois Pork Producers. It's been a great night of high school football. Brendan Cullerton, what do you have for us?
Guys, I've got your player of the game, Tremaine Lee. Tremaine, you were everywhere tonight. What worked for you?
I'll say my offense, the offense and defense was unbelievable. They won us this game, and I love all these guys.
All right, I'll give you this player of the game plaque. How does it feel to do it in a rivalry game like this?
It feels great, to come out here and compete is the best feeling ever. So.
All right, and can I get Coach here for a second? Yep. Coach, like we said, it got tight there for a while. How does it feel to you not only to take this in a rivalry game, but against your son?
Well, it's I got mixed feelings, but I love these guys, and I tell you what, they played their hearts out. This was a great game we needed, and we played, I think a state champion right there, and we feel like we can be a state champion. So this is like a state championship type of game.
All right, then we'll give you the SEFCU Game of the Week trophy here.
All right, congratulations to the 7-0 Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones. And Adam, congratulations to Tremaine Lee for being the player of the game, brought to you by Midwest Rehab. And just want to remind you to tune in tomorrow night for Hickory River Saturday Night Rivals, presented by Kirby Medical Center at 7 o'clock right here on CW23 as the Milford Bearcats take on the Salt Fork Storm. And then next week, SEFCU Friday Night Rivals, presented by Illinois Pork Producers, brings you Week 8 of the high school football season. We will head to Jacksonville as the Crimsons take on the Lanphier Lions. That's next Friday night starting at 7 right here on CW23. Adam, that about does it for us here from Cyclone Stadium in Springfield. And what a great night. Again, the final 33-28 Sacred Heart Griffin over Rochester, and a great football game.
Yeah, great game, great atmosphere. It was a state championship game atmosphere. I'm happy to be a part of it. It was a wonderful game.
It was great, and shout out to Liz Leonard, and keep battling that cancer, and hope you do well. And we'll talk to you next tomorrow night for Saturday Night Rivals. Good night, everybody, from Cyclone Stadium.